It's the best time we have every year. It's a great time for everyone.
Join us at the Renaissance Festival! Huzzah!
Come and have a turkey leg.
The Renaissance Festival is back!
Huzzah!
Weekends now through April 3rd. Discount tickets available at Bashes and Food City or Arizona.renfestinfo.com. Presented by Delta Airlines, Bashes, Food City, Pepsi, Budweiser, and Guinness.
You come out here and you really have a good time. My kids love it.
There's lots of shops to go to. Hair braiding, face painting. Oh, and I really like the meat sticks, the turkey. Whoa! Huzzah!
There's so much going on. Make sure you come out early and stay all day.
You can always save on Renaissance Festival admission with discount tickets at Bashes and Food City stores statewide. Huzzah!
We're on a mission to connect every Arizona service member, veteran, and their families to the support and resources they deserve. If you or someone you know needs assistance with benefits, health care and wellness, employment, or housing, visit connectveterans.org or call 866-4AZ-VETS right now to learn more. This message is brought to you by the Arizona Coalition for Military Families, the Arizona Department of Veterans Services, and Arizona's Be Connected partners.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. Are you seeing what is going on in the home buying market right now? Unbelievable. Not enough inventory, and there is a ton of demand. Some of these homes are getting 30, 40, 50 offers on them. How are you going to stand out? How are you going to differentiate yourself from the other buyers who are in line? I have a way. Use the Lund Mortgage Team. Lund Mortgage Team is locally owned and operated with over 20 years of experience right here in the Valley. They have a great reputation, and it is a trustworthy pre-approval. And on top of that, they are quick. That's one of the things. You got to come equipped and be ready to buy. So what you need to do is make that first phone call to 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940. Get that pre-approval going, and then get yourself ready to go buy that home of your dreams. Go online, lundmortgageteam.com, or call 623-875-9940.
Contractors need bonds, and the professionals at Constructors Bonding have been Arizona's leading surety management team for 40 years. We don't just deliver bonds, we make your bonding better. As the #1 producer with 14 markets, Constructors Bonding has the relationships and expertise to get you better capacity, better rates, and better terms. For better bonding, call Dave McKee at Constructors Bonding at 602-432-5929. That's 602-432-5929. Or visit cbialliance.com.
KQFN Tempe, also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM
And K240 Robert Hills at 95.9 FM.
People settle down.
Because it's time
for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Wednesday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rhodes in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Hartman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And so the NIT is now down to 2 teams. Yes. Can you feel the excitement? Can you feel the electricity in the air?
I am a Twitter with anticipation.
Somebody get the paddles. I don't know if my heart can take it. I think when it comes to the NIT, I'll just say DNR.
Do you know who the 2 teams are?
It's Xavier, which is the bald guy in the wheelchair on X-Men. And it's Texas A&M, which is basically it's a mini mart on the corner of I believe Val Vista and Guadalupe.
Okay, all right. A small country store and Mr. X.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. And so with that, I'm pretty sure that Mr. Xavier will use his mind, waves,
the mind control,
and he'll melt the Texas A&M. That's my prediction. I got Xavier, and it'll be over in the first half.
I don't know about
once
that.
you get your mind melted, there's no more basketball.
If this is a grocery, a small grossette, is that what they call them? Grossettes?
No, you're absolutely right. Grossette.
A little country store that probably will muck up the mind waves with that cheese that you put on the nachos.
Ooh, and then the metal
and
and
then you microwave it and everything. Yeah. See what I mean?
Ooh, so this is going to be tough. For some real analysis on this, who's going to win, Keon? Professor Xavier or the A&M Mini Mart in Texas there?
I'm inclined to say the A&M Mini Mart just because they're a very tough team. They just played in a brutal SEC this season.
Sure. Those hot dogs have been on that roller for who got maybe weeks, maybe
6,
weeks,
8 years.
Who can tell, really?
Yeah,
it's a risk when you walk in there and try one.
And they do have a secret weapon, gas station sushi.
Yeah.
Bam! There you go. This is going to be a tough one, but I'm still going to go with Xavier because how can I not pick a team with an X in its name?
And as its logo.
Nobody cares about the NIT, but we are contractually obligated to carry the game. And then we found out what the TBA was on that schedule. TBA, for all you people who don't work in broadcasting like Randy and I and Keon, to be announced. And on the schedule, it said to TBA. And well, they ate it. They ate it. And guess what? There will be no Daily Blender tomorrow because from Madison Square Garden, it's the NIT Championship between Xavier and Texas A&M right here at 3:45 p.m. on the mighty 1580 The Fanatic.
So this is the last time the NIT will be playing at Madison Square Garden, is it not?
What do I know?
I believe that's true. I believe it's since 1932.
Well, they finally figured it out.
1932, the NIT has been played, the championship game at Madison Square Garden. It will play somewhere else, another venue. It could be that Lucas Oil Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, or it could be the Death Star in Las Vegas on the Strip.
Well, listen, we figured out we can make more money with Mel Gibson on ice. It's way more interest in that versus the NIT. Oh, yeah, it's a hell of a thing. It's not Mel Gibson himself because, he doesn't skate. And he really did verbally berate the lady who went over there to try to talk him into being in it. But before the money, did sign off on it. So that we're just going to have some Mel Gibson impersonators from all ages of his career on ice, skating around. And, of course, you got the Lethal Weapon, you got the Mad Max, you got him getting drunk and calling that sheriff's deputy sugar tits, the whole 9 yards. We've got it here on Mel Gibson on ice.
All right.
Way more interest in that than the NIT.
Wow.
Seriously, if you had to choose, you're going to Mel Gibson on ice.
When you describe it that way, Mel Gibson on ice is the clear and obvious choice.
I want to hear the line "sugar tits" one more time.
Yeah, copyright 2022, Jeffrey O'Brien Incorporated. Don't steal my idea, or I will sue your ass. So yes, that's what's happened. We get another day. We didn't expect it. We get another freebie. So sorry.
When you live the clean life, the pure life like we do, these things happen.
Good, clean living.
Yeah.
So that's not the only thing that just happened. And now, Randy, we didn't talk about this because I didn't even know about it. You say it was that we had a hell of a race last weekend, or was it yesterday?
Oh, hell of a race. Yeah. At the what everyone calls it COTA. It's the Circuit of the Americas, a track built just outside of Austin, Texas, originally designed for the Le Mans type cars and also the Formula One cars. However, NASCAR has started racing on this. They had a big show out there in Austin. They had the trucks on one day. They had the Xfinity cars on another day, and that was a regular hoot to watch. And then you had the Cup cars, the new next gen cars racing around, and it was a hell of a race. And for the first time in his Cup career, Ross Chastain and the brand new this year Trackhouse Racing gets their first Cup victory at COTA. And the driver, Ross Chastain, he's come through the ranks. He's raced in trucks. He's raced Xfinity. He has a tradition. Every time he wins, he smashes a watermelon because he comes from a long line of watermelon farmers, believe it or not.
I thought he was like a big Gallagher fan.
No, a watermelon farmer. Watermelon farmer. He goes way. As a matter of fact, the off season, he still works the family land, planting and harvesting watermelons. Very good watermelons.
Hold on.
Yeah. Mhm.
Seeds or seedless? What does this family produce? Seeds or
Seeds.
seedless?
The regular traditional
Okay.
watermelon with
'Cause
seeds.
There's something weird about seedless watermelons. It's
Mhm.
unsettling. When you cut
Exactly.
the thing open and there's nothing there, you're like, I know this is probably going to be easier to eat, but
Yeah,
it
yeah.
feels wrong.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, it's the traditional watermelon. It looked very good on TV. He was eating some. He smashed it and reached down and grabbed himself a big old hunk of that smashed watermelon. Was eating it during the interview.
Why do we have to drink milk or eat watermelon or whatever else happens?
It's just,
why do we have to do
tradition.
these things?
It's a, Indy 5. You're referring to Indy 500. It's a tradition that goes back 100 years with the Indianapolis 500. An icy cold drink of milk for the victor, and the victor's wreath. They lay that across the winning driver of the Indianapolis 500. And as a matter of fact, a little known fact. Every driver who makes the Indianapolis 500 is asked, "What do you want?" And you can put in whole milk, 2%, low fat, skim milk.
Almond?
They've had guys that have they don't drink the milk; they drink the almond milk. They have the goat's milk. I mean, there's been but they have a whole list, so they have all of that ready to go. And the same dairy has been doing it for years, and they have it ready to go on ice on the Indy 500 day.
I think it'd be just hilarious. You just get D milk. That's it. You get straight milk, and if you're lactose intolerant, well, you better hurry up with the ceremony. This is the thing where you see all these people gathered around, getting their pictures taken, and shortly after he drinks the milk, there's a bunch of people not standing around behind him. They've all moved up to the sides.
Good heavens!
I've been drinking milk, and boy, are you going to be sorry.
What was that? That's the car cooling down. Sure it is.
Well, so the Cota, who won?
It was Ross Chastain. He drives for.
Right. That's the brother of Jessica Chastain, who won an Oscar for playing Sammy Davis Jr. I think.
No.
No, I'm sorry.
Ross Chastain. No.
Tammy Davis Jr.
No,
I don't know. I was barely paying attention. Oh, did we lose me or did we lose Randy?
I think we lost Randy.
Oh no! Listen, I always enjoy when he thinks he's still going. Also, I don't want to move my lips because I don't want to see that I'm talking too. But he just keeps on going, and now he's realized it. I mean, I don't like it when he gets disconnected, but I do have that moment of enjoyment watching his mouth just go.
It's just, and he's so passionate about it too. Like his head's moving. Yeah.
See, now here's what happens. So what happens is he looks over, he sees it, he sits back, he resets it, and if it doesn't immediately come back, he stands up, goes into the other room, has a whiskey, and then he has another, and then he resets his equipment, and then he comes back into the room and he sits down and he thinks about hitting the button. That's what happens from his side. 888-368-1580. Kiss the Cook says, are the three of you interested in a $10 pick for it? No. I'm not. Are you, Keon? He says a $10 pick for the first golf major of the year. Highest finish wins the pot.
No, as much as I love golf, I'm actually very bad at picking it. So
I get invited to a lot of these things, and there's been a couple I thought, I'll join your fantasy football. Then they say, okay, well, it's a $200 buy-in. I'm like, oh no,
no, thank you.
It's just something weird about me giving money to a listener that doesn't belong, where the money doesn't belong to Harmon Solar. I just I like to give away their money, not my money.
That when they front the event, then it's perfectly fine. When you have to, then all of a sudden it does change the dynamic a lot.
Mr. Pringle says, Keon, I see your Nationals held the Cardinals to under 30 runs today. Good job, team. Yeah, what happened?
I don't know.
Even the Washington Nationals social media had to get in on it, and they're like, damn, that just, okay, we get it. I thought your Nationals were supposed to be good, Keon.
I never said that. That they are a couple of years removed from winning a World Series at this point, but they went ahead and blew up the entire team. Almost nobody that was on that championship team, with the exception of Juan Soto and a couple other guys, still around. So I don't even know what this team's going to look like this year. I have no idea.
I'll answer this one from Mr. Pringle. Says, Randy, will the Diamondbacks score 29 runs before May 1st? The answer is no. 888-368-1580. Fish Tank says, am I the only one still drinking a cold glass of milk with my steak for dinner? You know what? I would too. I used to all the time. I would always drink the milk with the steak dinner. I would drink milk with a lot of stuff, but I don't know, just like a light switch flipped off, and I don't do that anymore. Now here around the house, all we have is this lactose-free milk, and it's great on cereal or in your tea or something. But it just never occurs to me to have a glass of milk anymore, I guess. But no, good for you though, Fish Tank. That's good stuff. I always enjoyed it. You still have yourself a nice chug of milk there, Keon?
Well, I do like milk a lot, so I do drink milk from time to time. I've never had it with a steak though. I've never. I don't know where that comes from, but I've never thought to do it.
I don't know what religion is against that. They're like, dude, don't drink milk with steak. I'm like, why does God care about that? But there's something about that. I don't remember what it is though. So if you're out there and you're got some religiosity to you, you can tell me, because why can't you have the milk with the steak? See, there he is. There's Randy. Have a nice sip from his whiskey, as I predicted. Now he's reaching over. He's getting his headphones. He's hitting a few buttons, and let's see if we get him back. There you go.
Yeah.
I narrated what you usually do when you get disconnected, and you did it to a T. There is the whiskey, and Randy White is now back. The question a little bit ago from Mr. Pringle was, will the Dimebags score 29 runs before May 1st?
No.
Yeah, see, that's what I said. I got you. And I don't feel good about it, but yeah. The Jet says, hey, Jeffrey, you must not have got the update. We're now calling the Diamondbacks the Dimebags. Yeah. Okay. Who decided that? Did you guys decide that? If that's on a different show,
this is the first I've heard of it.
If it's on a different show, keep it on a different show. Mr. Wilbur says chocolate milk after a good workout. Yeah, I heard there's like a special version of chocolate milk that people will chug down after a workout or something. But I mean, regular chocolate milk is good anytime. Now that I will drink. If somebody puts chocolate milk in front of me, bam, I'm all over that. Last Optimist. Of course, where do you guys get these memes all of a sudden? He's got a meme of Gallagher looking at a watermelon going, I'd hit that. Blissful Hayes says, hey, Jeffrey, Arizona Governor Dookie just lifted all COVID restrictions in the state. It's now time for a blender listener party. Well, thank God I've never really followed the governor's way of thinking of things when it comes to health in my life, and I'm not going to now. I've already told you guys what it's going to take for us to do a remote, and that is when they have the antivirals readily available, so I don't feel guilty if one of you guys gets the COVID. I want to make sure everybody has a fighting chance. So that's where I stand on that. Mars Bards 805 says, happy Whiskey Wednesday, guys. Can't wait to see Braveheart on ice at Madison Square Garden. Take an 805, please, and go Duke. Braveheart on ice would be interesting, but Mel Gibson on ice would be way better. Scenes from his movies, scenes like and he's like yelling at his girl or his wife, you make me want to smoke. Like on the whole thing, everything that's wrong with Mel Gibson on ice.
Yeah.
You got to admit, there's a little genius on this.
But no, there's plenty of genius to it. Because it's going to be everything iconic about Mel Gibson on and off the screen. You have to be there. You have to be there.
We got to get Michael Bay in for the explosions. There's going to be going to be stuff. I'm just saying. Big George says, hello, gentlemen. Happy Wednesday. Hope you enjoyed your day off and watched that thrilling NIT tournament. Big CONCACAF game. Okay, I'm stopping you there. I'm going to read the rest. Yeah, we're not talking soccer. Let me know when they're in the World Cup. If that happens, then we'll talk about it. And even then, I don't want to talk about it. Because how long until that happens? 2-3 years from now? How long does that take, the whole thing?
I believe the World Cup for men is this summer.
Did they do that every year, or is this like every 4 years?
No, it's
every 4
years. We have once every 4 years.
All right, just let me know, and I don't know. We'll discuss whether we should care or not.
You know who's not going to be in the World Cup this year?
The Cardinals?
Team Italy.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
they lost, and they will be. They've been eliminated from World Cup contention.
I'm sure that.
Yeah.
The problem for the Italians, I don't know if they've ever been good at soccer, but they use their hands a lot. And that's against the rules.
No, just only when they're complaining to the refs. Then it's just.
Well, no. They can't help themselves. Hey. It's like, no, it's always going to hurt. So, Randy, I told you I had
Yeah.
something for you here when
Yeah.
it came to the baseball.
Oh, boy.
That is the Diamondbacks. Their big news release was about the fact that cold beer and cheeseburgers is replacing Friday's front row at Chase Field.
How about that?
Have you? What was Friday's front row good? I don't even
It
know.
was. I've been there a few times. I watched a game from the patio there, the Friday's front row porch, whatever they called it. I've been in there. I've been in there, and they had good food, and it was a great environment, and you could sit out there and watch the game. As a matter of fact, you could go in an off game. It was supposed to be open 365 days a year, so
Just
you
sit there
could
and
go
look
to
at
the
the
stadium, and
field?
you can see the different things happening at the stadium and enjoy good food and cold beer. But if cold beer and cheeseburgers is there, great. I mean,
which one was
super
better?
food.
I've never had cold beer and cheeseburgers.
I
know
haven't
that's-
either. I'm going to have to go and give it a shot.
Well, see, I was about to say that everybody was going to freak out because I thought everybody had. Well, I feel better now knowing you haven't, but
Yeah, I haven't.
I've heard a lot about cold beers and cheeseburgers, but I've never had it. So if anybody out there has had both, tell me which is better. Cold beers and cheeseburgers or the Friday's front row that used to be there. So I don't know what caused this change, but that is what you have in store for you at Chase Field now.
Yeah, the COVID, they had to shut down the stadium. And when the state shut down the stadium, Fridays was not able to operate. Therefore, they lost revenue, and that store was not able to take care of itself. So therefore, that store had to shut.
Yeah,
it went bankrupt.
That's a shame. Fish Tank says mixing milk and meat is forbidden according to Jewish law based on 2 verses in the book of Exodus. So now you know. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. Can I tell you why I'm not worried about that? Every Jewish person I've ever been friends with loves them some bacon. So I'm not going to worry about drinking milk with the meat because nobody's going to get mad about that either. Let's take a break. When we come back, we got a little more baseball stuff for you, but we've got, there's some exciting news in the NBA, and I can't wait to share it with you. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brett Musburger's Action Update. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now, you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now. Here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Valero Texas Open underway tomorrow. Rory McIlroy, the favorite, at plus 800. Last year's champion Jordan Spieth plus 1400. Hideki Matsuyama plus 1600. The Final Four underway Saturday in New Orleans. Kansas will face Villanova. The Jayhawks a 4.5-point favorite. The over/under at 133. Then Duke and North Carolina. The Tar Heels a 4.5-point underdog against their arch rivals. 151 to set total. UFC 273 April 9th with 2 fights at the top of the bill. Aljamain Sterling battles Piotr Jan for the bantamweight belt. Jan minus 500, Sterling at plus 350, and featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski minus 750 against the Korean Zombie at plus 475. For vsin.com, I'm Trey Westerberg on Arizona's sports betting station.
Airlines have just reduced their prices even more. Book 30 days in advance and save big.
Want the absolute lowest prices on your airline tickets? Then call the Low Cost Airlines Travel Hotline right now. For prices so low, we can't publish them anywhere. The only way to access our low rates and save up to 70% is to call. Save hundreds on your vacation tickets by calling right now. You can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
802-341-4535. 802-341-4535. 802-341-4535. That's 802-341-4535.
Distracted driving kills in Arizona. Life is more important than your phone's beep. Stop the distracted driving, Arizona, please. Sponsored by the Arizona Chapter National Safety Council and the Governor's Office of Highway Safety, aired in cooperation with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
Are you a planner? Do you like to plan ahead? Then, of course, you already have a plan to call Harmon Solar, right? Bruce Jacobs here. It should be at the top of your list to get solar now and enjoy huge savings next summer, up to 85% on your monthly bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Then you can plan what to do with all that extra money. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, women-owned, local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
What do a 450-year-old author and a bottle of 4 times distilled vodka have in common? Let's compare Shakespeare, shall we? Shakespeare, the man, the epitome of playwriting, the OG of live theater, the standard by which all others are compared. Shakespeare, the vodka, an original Polish spirit crafted from a recipe 12 centuries old with an unwavering attention to smoothness and purity, the standard by which all others should be compared. Maybe they're not so different after all. Shakespeare Vodka is the Shakespeare of vodkas.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic is your exclusive home for the 6-time world champion Indoor Football League's Arizona Rattlers.
All right, listen up.
Tune in to The Fanatic for all the fast-paced, hard-hitting action. Listen as the Rattlers work toward the playoffs and their 7th world championship in team history. Let's keep it going. Arizona Rattlers football, exclusively on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Welcome back to a Wednesday edition of the Daily Blender. We'll be here until 6 tonight. And then, tomorrow, because of our clean living and our pure way of living and life, we will not be on the air. So make plans accordingly. But let's make plans now. If you are not signed up with the FanDuel Sportsbook, make plans because now is a great time to do it. The FanDuel is giving customers $150 instant bonus right now, guaranteed. You get $150 in bonus site credit. All you've got to do is place your first bet of $5 or more. How you bet the bracket is up to you. You can choose the money line, the totals, prop bets, a whole lot more. They even have a section where you can jump in on other parlay bets that are going on. And you don't even have to do the thinking. You just kind of look at it and say, hey, that looks good. Yeah, drop down $5 on that and see what happens. Remember, parlay bets, a way of taking a little bit of money, turning it into a big return. By the way, even though my bracket is busted, I kind of like Kansas and Duke in the final game. Kansas and Duke. I think Duke will beat the Tar Heels. I think Kansas will outlast who are they playing again? Doesn't matter.
Villanova.
Anyway, Kansas will beat Villanova in a shocker, and it will be Duke, Kansas in the final. And ultimately, I think Coach K is going to win his 5th national championship and retire. He's going to walk it off. He's going to retire on top. So join FanDuel today with promo code Randy1580. Place your $5 bet, score $150 in bonus site credit, guaranteed. Remember, that's Randy1580 on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Let them know I sent you. Remember, you've got to be 21 or older. Present in Arizona. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as a non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342.
All right, so Mars Bars 805 is very happy with you, Randy, because you have picked Duke. He says, that's what I'm talking about, Randy.
Yeah.
There you go.
I feel like they're a team of destiny for some reason. I think they all have rallied together and they want to get this done for Coach K.
I'm not going to bet on Saturday, but I think I will bet something on Monday. I will at least bet on the championship game when that happens. And I can't imagine the odds are going to be very good in either direction because you got 1 and 2. They're there for a reason, right? Is there any chance that this could be lopsided sort of thing that could give you some value, Keon?
I mean, they're the only tournament there. There is a chance that could happen.
Only if North Carolina gets in, right?
I wouldn't even say that. I just think with the matchup stuff, I go back to Kansas. I think Kansas is one of those teams where when everything's clicking for them, they're a fantastic team. They're very hard to beat. They're incredibly good. However, there have been moments this season where, things have not been clicking for them. Specifically, their center McCormick. He's very, very inconsistent. And when he doesn't show up for a game or struggles in a game, it's like a real struggle. And their whole offense kind of hinges on the fact that he's going to dominate down low, grab a lot of rebounds, be generally hard to stop. And I've seen them just lay eggs this season against teams that they ought to beat pretty bad.
888-368-1580. Boomer Sooner says, good day, Blender Nation. Good day, gentlemen, in the studio. And yeah, World Cup, I think it's going to be played in Qatar or Dubai in the summer, and it's supposed to be like 120 degrees. And way to go, FIFA.
Yeah.
He says, you guys have to try cold beer and cheeseburgers. Try their appetizer tater tots loaded. Awesome treat right there. Never been a fan of the tater or the tots. I don't know. I know that's probably very un-American of me, but it's just,
I don't know. I'm a big tater tot fan myself, but
I don't care.
yeah, I like the tater.
You can have mine.
Got to be the right tater tots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when they put tater tots in breakfast burritos, I'm like, no, thank you. Please don't do that.
A little mushy for me there. Yeah.
The Jet says, cold beer and cheeseburgers is amazing. They have about 8 or 9 value locations. Try one out when you can. Don't eat the peanut butter burger, though. They might tell you it's their #1 seller, but that is not worth a crap. Wow. Good. Well, thanks for the heads up on that, because I always do enjoy a nice peanut butter burger. Big George says cold beer and cheeseburgers is light years better than TGI Fridays. Is that what it was? It was TGI Fridays?
Yeah,
at the
Friday's
park?
Front Row is a subsidiary of TGI.
Oh,
Fridays.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. So, yeah, but there's anything would be better than that. Tuck says, yeah, Friday sucks. Anything would be better. Cold beer and cheeseburgers is solid. Kiss the Crook says milk and steak is almost as terrible as eating eggs and chicken together. I'll eat eggs in front of chickens. I don't even care. King of Kenton says the World Cup plays this year, 2022, Monday, November 21st. That's more information than we need. I do think it's hilarious that it's happening in 120 degree heat, because that's a lot of running around, you know?
Well, it's typically, isn't it in the fall? Thought it was in the fall. I don't know what the date is, but might be a little cooler. It won't be 122. Maybe it'll be 119 only.
Mars Bar says tater tots and fat steak. Okay. Senior Wake and Bake says when the Final Four is over and the champion, well, it will be Villanova. He said that's my last team right there.
It's a good pick. Yeah.
It'll be over with Villanova.
All right. He's trying to run.
He smokes a lot of weed. Right? So there is one thing there, Randy. We were talking about that cold beer and cheeseburgers is moving into Chase Field. The other thing is Major League Baseball has announced Home Run Derby X. It's a global tour, and it features former players. And going to guess, you don't care.
No.
Yeah, I didn't think you would. But for people who like home run derbies, I guess let's see here. Adrian Gonzalez, Johnny Gomes, Giovanni Soto, and Nick Swisher are going to go travel the world having home run derbies on like small little reduced versions of baseball fields, just to wow the kids.
Well, you know what these guys have done? They just got an extra paycheck, and they got to travel and per diem and a chance to go travel around the country and hit baseballs and drink beers and party it up on MLB's dime. I think this is spectacular for the game, don't you? 4 guys out there that are really no names, and then you're going to go out there and have them hit home runs. If it was like Big Papi, guys like that, guys of that kind of stature, no. Johnny Gomes.
Well, I saw Gonzalez. I was like, Luis? No, somebody named Adrian. So
Adrian Gonzalez.
He was with the Red Sox for a while.
Well, he was known as being a prolific home run hitter, I'm sure. Nick Swisher.
Let's put it this way: he could hit, but hit for power wasn't exactly his thing. So I don't understand.
Well, that's what I mean.
If you have a reduced field, everybody's a home run hitter.
That's what I mean.
Nick Swisher's another guy. He was a good player, but he wasn't a home run guy.
Well, I won't
just
tell you anymore. It's
human being.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's baseball is trying to, get what they can out of home run competitions. And I personally, I think having the home run derby in the middle of the season, because I've seen several times in my lifetime, and I'm pretty old, I'm as old as dirt. I've seen several times when hitters are hot going into the home run derby, then they go out there and expend all their energy. And for whatever reason, they make a change at the derby and they can't get that swing back, and they just fall in the gutter after that. The second half of the season's never the same. I don't like it in the middle of the season. I don't like it.
King of Kittens, he got upset with me. He's like, you said summer. I said November to December. Listen, King of Kittens, it's always summer in Qatar. It's always summer there.
Is it November, December?
There are no seasons in Qatar. It's always 120 degrees. I don't know what you're upset about.
They were initially trying to make fake clouds in Qatar so they could try and find some way to hide from the sun.
Just a little shade. Just looking for some shade in Qatar.
It's because no trees grow there.
Exactly. Why? Because it's always 120 degrees.
Yeah.
Mr. Pringle brings us to our next story effortlessly with a segue he didn't even realize he was going to make. And that is, here's the headlines. He's going to really enjoy this. Just soaking this in. Los Angeles Lakers stumble out of play-in position, now 11th in the Western Conference.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just so nice.
Magnificent.
Just take a minute and let it just kind of flow all over.
Sometimes dreams do come true.
Yes.
Yeah, Los Angeles is number 11 in the Western Conference. Only 7 games remaining, and they're all hard ones. And
the Spurs have an easier schedule, and they get the Portland Trailblazers, who are awful twice.
They are 4-13 since the All-Star break, the Lakers. So,
yeah.
Watch them mess around and actually get back in. That'll piss me off. I mean, I guess I don't care because they're no threat to anybody, even if they do make the play in. But wouldn't it be funny if they did and started just tearing through teams? Nah, I would be angry. I'd be pretty mad. Not just because I don't like the Lakers, because they were just sitting there laying in wait, letting all this talk happen. And then suddenly they're like, we were just resting. Bam.
I mean, if you're going to lose 16 of 21 games just to rest, that is an unbelievable strategy. And at that point, you deserve it to work for you if you can actually make that happen on purpose.
That just means that LeBron is standing next to Vogel, just like in the old movies. Wait for it. Wait for it. No, this is not going to work. Trust me. I know what I'm doing. We're all going to die. You shut up. How are we going to make this? Wait for it. God, I hope not. Senior Wakenbake says, reminds me of the 3 crappy athletes playing crappy. King Kitten says, I'm sorry, Jeffrey. Mars Bar says, go Lakers. The Jet says, Los Angeles Lakers suck. I quit watching ESPN because they have 30-minute segments on them every single day. They've never covered great teams. They cover everything Lakers do, and that's it. It pisses me off.
Yeah, Lakers, Green Bay, or Dallas. Oh, my God, I'm sick of all 3 teams.
Fish Tank says, guys, Adrian Gonzalez hit 40 bombs back in 2009. I'm not saying this home run X thing is cool, but I do want Adrian to get a little credit for that.
Okay, so 2009, he hit 40 bombs.
How many years ago was that? 13 years?
We're in 2022.
They still got some splaining to do with some of these other guys, though.
Yeah. No, I didn't say. Well, people have to leave the country. So Big George says, typically the World Cup is played in the summer in June and July. But since Qatar is hell on earth during the summer, they moved it to late fall, which is still 120 degrees.
Yeah.
You would think in Qatar, they put all that crap indoors, just put it all inside.
Well, and you not only that, but you have the chance of the dust storms coming up and the haboob. The out of nowhere haboob that shows up on the scene, lightning and thunder and rain.
You about to break into song there?
Maybe.
We'll wait.
No.
Fed Fan says, did you know that all the Laker losses, the social media people have never used LeBron James in any of the lost pictures? It's always some other poor Laker that gets displayed.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like it's a clause in somebody's contract. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That he can't have it. If his face was on it and it said loser, I don't think he could handle that. I'm going to start a burner Laker account. 888-368-1580. So yeah, I'm just thrilled to see the Lakers go down in blazes, man. I I got to say, couldn't happen to a nicer team, right? But it is always so confusing because they were when LeBron got there, it's like, oh look, we're getting Russell Westbrook. Oh look, we're getting this guy, that Anthony Davis. Oh, we're looking. We thought, well, it's over. This is a team that's going to come in and they're just going to prison girlfriend slap everybody in the West and might as well just take the rest of the year off, right? It just seemed that way. When all these players started to go to the Lakers, and you're like, this is not even fair. I mean, you do remember those days, right?
Yes.
Well, when LeBron first got there with Anthony Davis, it did feel that way. Like we're going to get the last years of LeBron, but then Anthony Davis is going to take over and sort of be the guy that extends this thing for 3 or 4 years. And then it just never happened.
Because of injuries, you needed another guy to come in and take over for when because you got to take over for the guy taking over and then the guy who's taking over for the guy who's taking over, well, somebody needs to take him over.
Yeah, and it also wound up being this thing where LeBron didn't really get to be old, which is what this stage of his career is supposed to be. It's just LeBron playing like 37 minutes a night, and if he doesn't score 50, they don't have a chance.
It was the last game was just sad. It's
just
the Mavericks, 128-110, and Stanley Johnson's like, well, we just got our asses kicked. That's all. We just straight up. Whatever spirit, whatever, they kicked our ass. It was 30 points pretty much the whole game. I don't even know how else to put it. We got to be a lot better than this. We thought you would be, but we're enjoying that you're not here in Arizona. Just feels so good. Feels good. All right, let's take a break. We will come back and let's talk about some of the stuff that's going on with the NFL owners meetings. There have been rule changes. There has been non-rule changes. There have been things that have happened. Let's discuss that when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
An adult elephant can weigh up to 6 tons. The average person, 150 pounds. Ever heard of carfentanil? It's a large wild animal tranquilizer. Illegal drug dealers lace heroin with it. It can kill the average human. If you or a loved one is addicted to opiates, even pain pills, don't wait until it's too late. Call the Detox and Treatment Helpline now. We care. Many of us have been where you are. We'll take you or a loved one away from the drug environment to a place you can clean out safely. Plus, we'll work with your insurance company to make sure you get the treatment you need. And with a Family Medical Leave Act, you're allowed by law to get away for help without telling your employer why. Call now to save a life. 800-707-9709. 800-707-9709. That's 800-707-9709.
Sun Devil Baseball is back for an exciting year under new head coach and Sun Devil legend Willie Bloomquist. The Sun Devils open the 2022 season with 9 straight home games and will feature non-conference matchups against Oklahoma State, BYU, and Grand Canyon. The team begins Pac-12 play against Washington before taking on USC, Oregon, and Arizona. Sun Devil Baseball single game tickets and mini plans are available now, starting at just $10. Visit sundeviltickets.com to secure your seats today. That's sundeviltickets.com.
Hey guys, it's Stephen McCollum from the Main Event here on 1580 The Fanatic. And join me 1 to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday as we discuss all the home teams. Suns keep heading towards the playoffs, but we have a few regular season games to go. NFL offseason continues. I'll keep you updated on all the moves, and the Diamondbacks are getting ready for the season. Get you updated on spring training and more. So join me, Stephen McCollum, on the Main Event Monday through Thursday, 1 p.m. on 1580, 99.3 FM, The Fanatic.
I represent low-cost airlines, and we know a lot of you are not traveling right now, and we understand. However, if you do need to travel between now and the end of the year, now is a great time to lock in some of the lowest prices we've seen in a lifetime. Hey, in normal times, we can save you up to 75%, but now airlines are practically giving away seats. We have inside deals on over 500 airlines. Here are a few sample round-trip deals we found. Seattle to Vegas, $35. Chicago to to Atlanta, $85. Los Angeles to Atlanta, $100. Of course, there are some limitations, but the airlines want your business right now. And cancellation and change fees are flexible. So fly somewhere this year, book now, save a ton, call right now.
802-341-4535. 802-341-4535. 802-341-4535. That's 802-341-4535.
Can you tell which pills contain the deadly dose of fentanyl? Neither can your child. Counterfeit pills laced with fentanyl are killing Arizona's youth at an alarming rate. They're cheap, easy to get, and just one pill can kill. Get the facts on fentanyl at talknowaz.com. Talk with your children. Monitor their texts and social media. Visit talknowaz.com. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
1580 The Fanatic. And at 1580thefanatic.com. Your home for sports.
Today the Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and tomorrow at 3:45 p.m. you'll gather your family around the radio and you will listen to the NIT championship game here on 1580 The Fanatic. Yes, number 2 Xavier hoping against all hope to win the coveted NIT trophy from Texas A&M. It all happens here on the mighty 1580 The Fanatic.
The flamethrower.
Anybody buying this crap? Anybody?
Nobody. Sounds good. Very smart.
Okay. Fish Tank says, well, I mean, we did make a lot of jokes about how ancient the Lakers are going to be this year, though. Lots of handicap parking and nursing home jokes when they came in. Yeah, but LeBron, being the oldest of all of them, did seem to pull his own weight. But the rest of the team, yeah, kind of lived up to that hype, didn't they?
They did. It's truly unbelievable how Carmelo Anthony has been not bad, but kind of just a non-factor. Russell Westbrook is just not a good fit at all. And I don't even know at this point if he can still shoot mid-range jumpers, which was his game for most of his career until the day that it wasn't. He still shoots them. They don't go in. And then outside of that, that's the core of your team. And then, of course, the often injured Anthony Davis. So outside of that, you got a bunch of dudes nobody really knows, and then a bunch of old guys.
Yeah. Senior Wagenbeg says, hey, Lakers fans, don't mean to bust your bubble, but you guys suck. Bruno Baller says, would it be more satisfying to see the Lakers miss the playoffs altogether or make the playoffs and then lose to the Suns? And remember, when you say that, I say lose again to the Suns. I'd be happy with either, but we've done the beat them, and I want to see them just not make it at all, because that will hurt them worse, I think.
Well, I mean, after Anthony Davis was running his mouth the last time the Suns played the Lakers, remember that?
Yep.
He said, well, they know if I hadn't have been hurt, it'd have been a different story. No, it wouldn't have. AD, nope. The Suns had you guys down. They had their Converse on your throat, Jack. You weren't going anywhere. You're at the end of the road, whether you were in the game or not. These guys just cannot accept that. They cannot accept that the Suns are this good.
Speaking of people who can't accept stuff, this next conversation is going to be basically, Boogie, you can turn off your radio. It doesn't concern you.
Oh, boy.
This will have zero impact on the Detroit Lions.
Oh, boy.
The NFL is changing its overtime rules, but only for postseason. So, Boogie, don't worry about it. Just go get a drink. This does not affect you in any way. But yeah, the NFL, is finally changing their overtime rules. So each team is guaranteed one possession, but only during postseason. So all the owners got together and they're like, yeah. And the Colts and the Eagles says, hey, how about a rule change for all games, including regular season? But I guess there wasn't enough support amongst the owners. And I don't understand why. Why change it for just the postseason? Mm-hmm. Why not do it the entire year? Did anybody explain why?
Boy, I didn't see why, other than the fact of they want to make the playoffs more exciting. Case in point, Chiefs-Bills game. That would be the only game I could think of right now, Chiefs-Bills game. and you didn't get Allen back in the game. It took him 13 seconds, the Chiefs, to go down with Mahomes, score the winning goal or score the winning touchdown and run off the field all jubilant and, all the elation and celebratory, dancing and stuff, where the Bills had to slunk off the field, their heads held low. It's just for the playoffs, just because they want to see more excitement and action on the field in an overtime situation.
Okay, so then why not do it the entire year? We had quite a few, seemed like an awful lot of overtime games in the regular season. So I can't understand from the owner's point of view, why wouldn't you change it for the entirety?
I don't understand it either. It seems like they like to use the playoffs as the testing ground for this stuff. I don't know why. That seems a little backwards to me. Like that's where the games are the most consequential. But if you remember that the last time they changed the overtime rule to where you had to score a touchdown first instead of just kicking a field goal and the game was over, that was initially a playoff only rule before they expanded it to the regular season. I don't know why they do it. I really don't.
You got to get everybody used to it in general. And that's what everybody's wanted. And not just for the playoffs. There were some overtime games during the regular season that helped contribute to who was even going to the playoffs. So that's just as important. And I think it's silly, but under the new rule, if the teams are still tied at the after each one gets the ball, then it's sudden death, and the first team to score wins. So, it doesn't matter if you get a field goal. It doesn't matter if you get a touchdown. The other team's going to get a try at it, and if they match you at that, after that, it's sudden death. And I listen, like I've said this before, I don't care. I was okay with it the way it was. I was okay with it the way it was before that. I just, the rules, what you need to do to win. Go win the damn game in regulation.
I don't think any of this complaining is coming from players. I think it's mostly coming from, those of us who have to sit down and watch the game. And there are lots of people like you who don't really care. I just think you got a quarterback driven league and two freakish quarterbacks going back and forth. I'd like to see them both go for it. That's just me as a fan watching.
Well, Boomer Sooner, as I guess he read up on it, says Roger Goodell says postseason is where they're going to try it first. Not only will it make it more exciting, but they'll be able to see if it truly works when they're going to vote on it. Okay, could you take him out of the mix minus? I'm echoing back right here. Yeah, it's a thing when Randy drops off. Sometimes it gets weird. Anyways, so is that you saying that, Boomer Sooner? Is that what he said? Because it doesn't make any sense. Saving this very exciting thing for the postseason
when only some of your teams can use it. I don't know. I just think if a rule is good enough for the postseason, it's good enough for the whole season.
Fish Tank says, well, wait, what happens if they both score a touchdown? Is it sudden death? Yes. No matter what happens after both teams have a possession, if it's tied, then it's sudden death. So in that circumstance, guess what? The coin toss is still very important, isn't it? Boogie says, oh, so yes, Jeffrey, these new overtime rules for the postseason will affect me. The Lions are winning the whole friggin' thing this year.
Oh,
that a boy, Boog. That a boy, Boogie.
I'm just stunned. He actually typed it and everything. Although he did spell Lions wrong, so I guess even his spell check was like he can't.
No, that's not true.
Mean that. It's the Lions are winning, not the Lions. So I hate when they piecemeal these rules and stuff. It just So we have one set of overtime rules for the regular season and another set of overtime rules for the postseason. So, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I guess it doesn't have to.
And your testing ground is when the games are most consequential. And that just doesn't make any sense.
Just get it done. Get it over with. Just do it. Just make it a thing. There's no reason not to. Okay, so the owners getting ready, all talking and chitter-chattering with each other, trying to figure out what's what. I think we have Randy back, by the way, Keon.
Good afternoon.
Well, they also were saying, hey, how everybody's complaining about the taunting penalties and stuff? Leave them there. We love them. They're not changing it. Thought for sure they might have pulled back on that a little bit, but they're like, nope. We've discussed sportsmanship and the taunting penalties that were called from last season. Only 4 taunting penalties all of last season were wrong, and so we're not changing nothing. Really? Only
Okay.
4.
They're just going to double down on this. They did it with the touchdown celebration thing when they outlawed all of those celebrations, and then double down on it for 8 years or however long it was before they realized, you know what, touchdown celebrations kind of fun. They're going to do this. They're really going to do this.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, guys. If you let's say you make a big hit, a big tackle, and the guy's laying on the ground unconscious, what are you going to go down, teabag him and throw a peace sign? And that's going to be okay? Is that okay?
Well, that's pretty obvious.
Yeah, but
Look at what I did.
But there was already an unsportsmanlike conduct called for that.
There's a rule for that already, but the
Well, I'm
taunting
just
has
saying.
been unreasonable the way they've called it. Now, if I gotta be honest, they would play that clip over and over again for the rest of eternity if that actually were to ever happen. It has yet to happen, so there's no reason to think it will happen.
Yeah.
But when it comes to what we saw last year, a guy getting up and going, yeah, he accidentally was pointed the wrong direction, taunting. Had he been pointed the other direction, it would have been okay. It's just a lot of it's just stupidity in the way that they are working that. And there's only one owner who really had been pushing that, and that's John Mara. So whatever, is it his turn to get his way?
His team must be getting taunted an awful lot.
Oh yeah, because they
the
bad.
Giants. Yeah,
I
that's
understand that he wants that to stop.
when everyone else in the NFC East is laughing at you, your team's real bad.
There's 31 other owners out there. They're like, give it to John Mara. I'm tired of listening to him at the buffet line.
He does have a lot of influence. He is one of, because I mean, it's weird to think of owners as richer and poorer, but he is one of the more wealthy owners.
No, here's what it is. John Mara has some video of each and every one of these owners creepily looking at his daughter, Kate Mara, or whatever her name is, the actress. He's like, I saw you looking at my daughter this way. You better vote for me on that thing of the taunting, or else I'm going to show everybody this video, especially your wife and kids, especially your kids. Yeah, that's John Mara getting his way right there. That's what it is.
Wow.
Is it Kate? Is it Annabelle? I can't remember.
I think it is Kate.
Okay. Taunting penalties ain't going nowhere. And I think it's a lot of garbage. And Keon's absolutely right. There's a unsportsmanlike conduct thing that you can call on somebody if they teabag the guy, which again, before I die, someone please. Because when I played Halo with my son, I had to see that happen way more times than I ever thought I would want to.
Teabag you. Throw the piece on,
Yeah.
huh? Nice.
So, what was I saying? Yeah, this is just dumb. Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, if it's excessive, should be enough to cover it. And I don't think that they need to make it even more no fun league. And because that's what it is. It's the continual no fun league until somebody finally goes, hey, this might be hitting our bottom line. Taunt away, mofos, taunt away. And they'll be taunting festivals. The owners will have seminars, how to properly taunt and get us more ratings so I can make more money. That's all it's about. So then at the owners meeting, there's another thing that was interesting. I think we talked about this a little bit the other day, but all the owners are mad as hell at the Browns because they did this giant mega contract deal with Deshaun Watson. And you're like, well, why? Just because they were there first? No, because what happens, they can't even offer that because a mega contract with guaranteed money, not every team can put that much money in escrow. You guys may not know this, but when there's guaranteed money involved, the money has to be immediately put into an escrow account. So if you are offering somebody $180 million guaranteed money, that money has to be put in an escrow account to be safe and to be distributed later. That's how the guaranteed money works. Not every team can load up all this guaranteed money. So now they saw what happened to Deshaun Watson. And so, yeah, a lot of owners are really not happy with the Browns because they're like, yeah, that tactic is unfair to teams that don't have an extra $180 million of guaranteed money laying around. And that has made this unfair balance.
Especially when it comes to chasing after quarterbacks, because now you've sort of set a precedent with Deshaun Watson that, all right, this is the amount of guaranteed money that a guy can make.
Right.
The next time you have a big name quarterback that's going to hit the market, whenever that is, and who knows, you're going to have the bottom line is going to be, look, Deshaun Watson got X amount of guaranteed dollars, and look what was going on with him.
The Yankees all over again.
Yep.
You guys, we keep forgetting who this is. This is the Browns. They're known for stupidity and bad moves.
Who knew they had all that money lying around?
Well, Jimmy Haslam's a very rich person. Very well. He owns all the Pilot gas stations.
They're going to have to figure out something because, or maybe just a different way that guaranteed money is handled. Maybe that's what it is changing up how the guaranteed money is handled. It's promised, but it's not in an escrow, which gives the other teams an opportunity to be able to do this as well. It's not my problem to fix, but it's an interesting problem to observe. A bunch of billionaires going, it's not fair because I don't have enough money.
I'm sure you can find it.
I'm going to cry a little bit tonight for you. After I'm done eating my ramen. All right, we'll be back. David Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Do you own an annuity, either fixed rate, indexed, or variable? Are you paying high fees and getting low returns? If so, Annuity General would like you to have this free book to learn the pitfalls and mistakes of buying an annuity. The Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers contains the little-known truths about annuities, like how to help reduce your fees and increase retirement income. And it's free. That's right, free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report just for calling. We researched over 1,000 annuities and summarized rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. You get Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and the Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call now.
800-273-7075. 800-273-7075. 800-273-7075. That's 800-273-7075.
Contractors, are you missing out on jobs due to lack of bonding? When your current bonding holds you back, call Arizona's #1 bond managers at Constructors Bonding. They have the market relationships and expertise to take you where you want to go. Serving all types of contractors of any size, licensed in all states. When you need better bonding, call Dave McKee at Constructors Bonding, 602-432-5929, or visit cbialliance.com.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Arizona Army National Guard, aired by the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
One of the most common questions people ask is if they can still afford to retire on $1 million or $2 million anymore. With stocks near all-time highs and bonds at all-time lows, it's actually a great question. 2008 taught millions of retiring engineers, teachers, and other professionals a costly lesson that years of market gains can be wiped out in just weeks of market losses. Not a problem if you're 30 years old with a few decades to make it back, but not if you are in retirement or almost there. I like to follow the 30, 50, 70 rule. The closer you are to 50 or 70, then at least 30 to 50% of your money should be kept safe at all times, like in an uncapped, principal secure, next generation annuity. Come and see why.
Call leading annuity authority Steve Jurich now at 480-902-3333. Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so compare with Steve. Call 480-902-3333 and visit iqannuity.com.
Does your company need bonds? Hi, this is Dave McKee, president of Constructors Bonding, inviting you to learn how our team can deliver better bonding than any competitor anywhere. Our relationships with every major surety get you the credit you need fast, and we never stop working to exceed your expectations. Call me personally at 602-432-5929. That's 602-432-5929 to learn how Constructors Bonding is your solution to better bonds.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody. 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. Pretty good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live from the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Say, somebody tell me, is it my imagination, or did they used to have almond M&Ms?
I think they used to have it. Yeah.
I don't think they have those anymore. I was sitting here and I had a couple almonds, and I threw a couple M&Ms in my mouth, and I'm like, oh, why don't they do that?
I thought they did have the almond M&Ms.
Well, did they still? I don't think I've ever seen them. Anyway, I like the almond joy, because I like coconut. A lot of people don't like coconut though. I like coconut. What were we talking about?
You were opening the show. Opening the hour.
Oh, I thought we already did an hour.
No, we've already done an hour. This is hour 2.
Okay.
You had talked about you're the radio pal. That's Randy White.
Hey, don't talk to me like I'm Bruce Willis, okay?
And then you asked about almond M&Ms.
That was wrong. I don't think Randy even gets why. We were talking about the owners meeting. That's what we were talking about. We were talking about the owners meeting, right?
Before this, yeah.
Before the almonds and the M&Ms things, right?
Yeah, they have an almond M&M.
They currently do.
Yeah, it's in a like a tan box or a tan bag. Almond M&Ms. You can get it at the Target, the Walmart, the Amazon.com. Fries.
Well, there you go.
It's $8 at the Fry's.
Jesus, for how big a bag?
Yeah, 15.9 ounce box. It looks like family size.
I like one little bag.
Now at the Walmart,
I'll play the home version here.
You can pick it up at the Walmart, $5.98 for the same size bag. So Walmart's saving you money.
Yeah, that's kind of what they do. Yeah. I don't know. I'll get some.
You can buy like 1,000 boxes for $25.28 on Amazon.
That might be the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thanks for the heads up on that. I'll check it out. Although King of Kittens also says, Jeffrey, go to CVS for a large selection of M&Ms. So CVS is your one-stop shop for hemorrhoid cream and almond M&Ms.
Oh yeah, you get your hemorrhoid cream, and in aisle 7 you get your almond M&Ms. Aisle 3 you get your insulin.
Wilbur says he prefers female M&Ms, no nuts. 888-368-1580. Sheriff Tom says, please check my 2-part text from 1:31 this afternoon. It'll be worth it.
We weren't here at 1:31.
Yeah, we were not here. Oh, it's a joke. He's got a joke. Are you ready? Why do the Cardinals have a ping pong table in their locker room?
I don't know why.
So Kyler can play volleyball.
No. Wow.
Just because Randy is no longer happy with Kyler Murray, it didn't make that funny. I hate to be the one to tell him that, though. Fish Tank says, as far as the Mara girls go, it's Kate and Rooney. Is Rooney a girl?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. It says the only extra content Boogie is getting this year is watching Jared Goff do simple math problems on Hard Knocks. That's that's so mean. Yeah.
Mouth breather.
And by the way, I really did write this over the headline of the story. Stuff that has zero impact on the Detroit Lions. Wow. The NFL changing the overtime rules.
Yeah.
But only for the postseason.
Wow.
By the way, we were talking about how all the owners are mad at the Browns for offering all this and a ridiculous amount of guaranteed money. It turns out the Jaguars, they have shattered the Patriots. It used to have the record for that, for guaranteed money in a single free agency cycle. Evidently, Jacksonville's devoting $175 million in guaranteed money to free agents that they signed. It was 163 last time around by the Patriots in 2021. So, there's probably going to be some changes on the way things go so that the other teams don't feel so bad about it. Still can't get too upset, though.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some of these owners that are going to cry poor are definitely going to have their day whenever they have their next meetings about this stuff, because they're going to see that as an unfairness. But if you're Jacksonville and you were as terrible as you were last year, and also you're Jacksonville, yeah, you're going to need more guaranteed money to convince people to play for you.
You ever have that moment where you see somebody, you can actually see the wheels turning and they realize something that everybody else already knew? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, well, yeah, it was obvious to the rest of us, but that person's like, hey, there might be something to this. I'm thinking Bob Kraft right now. Robert Kraft. I guess everybody else knew this was going to happen when Tom Brady left New England. And, you know, of course, Belichick was flailing around trying to figure out what to do next. And Bob Kraft says, you know, it kind of bothers me the Patriots haven't won a playoff game in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I did not see this coming. Everybody saw it coming, Bob. Everybody. He says, yeah, it bothers me. We haven't been able to win a playoff game in the last 3 years. I mean, I think we had a good draft last year, but I guess that made up for what happened the previous 4 years or so. But I don't know. I don't know. Bob Kraft is just lost in the wilderness. Everybody else gets it, but Bob. Of course, Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones, man, this is a guy who's like sometimes maybe don't tell everybody everything. You know what I mean? And when a businessman starts telling a little, they usually will tell a lot, and then they're oversharing. There's nothing worse than an owner who overshares. And on Monday, Jerry Jones is telling reporters, I was on the phone with Randy Gregory. And I told him and his agent, I said, ooh, what's that? What do you need? What do you want? El Paso is what I said. Woo! You know that little Texas town, that little town right there? I said, El Paso. Thank you, no thank you. I'm going to El Paso. Do you understand what I'm saying to you right now? I ain't saying no. I'm passing El Paso. I don't feel like you understand. And so Randy Gregory's like, well, I guess I'll get in the plane. I'm out of here. And Jerry the whole time's like, wait, get back on here. I said El Paso. Do you know what that means? He hung up. Why did he hang up? I don't think he understood El Paso.
El Paso.
Yeah, right there. We could have maybe tried to do something right there. And they asked if we could do something. I said, I'm not going to do that. I'm El Paso. And I did it of my own volition. Nobody to help me. No grown-ups or nothing. I just did what I want to do. I wish Randy as much as I've ever wished a player not playing for the Cowboys the very best. I got to say, I want him to have success, except for when he plays the Cowboys. Woo! El Paso.
El Paso.
Yeah. I can't imagine why those negotiations might have broke down. Well, we feel like that Gregory has been an outstanding player and is entitled to a certain amount of money. El Paso! Oh, what? Sorry? What?
Jerry phoning from his $5 billion yacht.
It's amazing he can't seem to get much done, huh?
What kind of, and the thing is, we've done this with Jerry, and not us, but the media has sort of built up the negotiating prowess of Jerry Jones to this massive degree. He's a master negotiator. You know, he always finds a way to get players to stick around in Dallas. Yeah, that's not what happened here. And it sounds insane.
Let me tell you something.
Just a little bit.
I talked Spanish at him. I figured that would help. I don't know why he hung up. I think he might be racist.
I don't have the patience to jack with you today.
I'm pretty sure Randy Gregory don't like Hispanics. Woo! We can find someone else. I don't care. So, all right. And that happened. Let's see. Fish Tank says Dolphins haven't won a playoff game in 22 years. We all have that feeling. It's real. It's a real freaking terrible feeling, Bob. And we feel for you too. Let's see. Big George says, I hate coconuts. Okay, well, thanks for being on topic. Almond Joy and Mounds are some of the worst candies on the planet. No, they're not. They're amazing. And yes, I do remember almond M&Ms. They came in a silver beige bag.
Well, it's a tan, beige. Okay, beige would work. Yeah.
Bruno Baller says, did I understand correctly that because Randy is no longer happy with Kyler Murray, you will not get a whistle for short jokes? Yeah, but my whole thing has been, it's just, if it's funny, it's funny. But we kind of ran through that about 150 times more than we should have.
Yeah.
It stopped being funny a long time ago.
If it's a really good one and you make us chuckle, I won't blow the whistle. Other than that.
Against the Spread says, well, that wasn't funny to make fun of Bruce Willis. You know, he got a brain injury when he got kicked off that plane in Die Hard 2. Against the Spread, that didn't actually, that was a movie. His condition now is just medical. It's not because of what happened on the plane.
I hadn't heard he has some sort of issues.
He's some brain. It's called alopecia, and it's called alopecia.
Oh no!
And Demi Moore will slap the bleep out of you if you say one word about it.
I think that's it.
Something.
Is he still with Demi Moore? I don't think he is.
In a weird thing, he sure hangs out with her and her family quite a bit. During COVID, they locked down together. Her and her husband and a bunch of people and stuff. It wasn't like weird or nothing.
No.
And but no, they're all still very friendly.
Uh-huh.
But I guess he has some brain condition where he can't process and communicate clearly, and it just recently hit him. So he's like, well, I guess I'm not going to be acting anymore. So I'm going to hang out. In fact, it was his daughter who posted up and told the world what was happening with him. So, yeah, I'm not making fun of Bruce Willis. I'm just saying I don't have that. 888-368-1580. So I don't know what it's called. Ashante. What is it? It's something. It starts with an A. I know it starts with an A. As much as I love making fun of Jerry Jones from the Dallas Cowboys, then my owner starts talking.
Yeah.
Jim Irsay, please stop talking to people. It's funny because he can't help himself. He tries to be political and he tries to be diplomatic, and it always just sort of melts down into he's going to say whatever he wants to say. The first little piece of information that came out was at the annual league meeting. Where he was saying that, after he traded Carson Wentz to the Commandos, he was like, they considered, trying to trade for a young franchise quarterback. And it never went through, but they were working on that. And so here's the question. Who's the young franchise quarterback? Who would you consider a young franchise quarterback? I mean, it could be Derek Carr from the Raiders. Would you call him a young franchise quarterback?
No.
Okay. How about Kyler Murray? Maybe there were some conversations between the Cardinals and the Colts at the time where the relationship between Kyler Murray and the Cardinals was pretty damn rocky. I think he counts.
Kyler definitely counts. Yeah.
Thank God that didn't happen. And then Kirk Cousins' name came up.
Okay.
No, he's
not a young, nor is he a franchise quarterback, unless your franchise is only intending on spending a lot of money and getting nothing in return for it.
And he's 33. That's not
Jimmy Garoppolo, though. You could call him a young franchise quarterback.
Could you call him a franchise quarterback? If you can't call Kirk Cousins a franchise quarterback,
I put an ish. Franchise-ish.
Okay, well, he's 30, so I guess you still have him on that kind of younger side, but I just don't think Jimmy's a franchise guy.
Let me just say thank God we didn't do any of that. I'm far happier with the overpriced Matt Ryan than I am any of this other stuff. I wouldn't want Kyler. I wouldn't want Derek Carr. I wouldn't want Kirk Cousins. I wouldn't want Jimmy Garoppolo. I still stand by Gardner Minshew is a good idea. Compared to all that, I swear to you that I mean that completely honestly. I mean, Kyler Murray might have had some success, but after what you've seen here lately, you don't even want him. Why should I have him?
I didn't say I don't want him.
Pretty sure you
just that he has to grow up.
Yeah, he needs to grow up.
I think that's been Randy's stance.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he'd put down the controller long enough to listen.
No.
Moist
He's
one.
a tender little flower petal. He needs to have his space and his time. He doesn't listen. He doesn't listen to any of the mean sports talk people, and they don't know what they're talking about anyway. He's a precious little flower petal.
Moist one thinks Deshaun Watson was the one Irsay was trying to get. I don't think so. I think he might have thought that could be a good idea. Everybody thought that, but it just the culture of the Colts. I don't see Chris Ballard saying that was a good idea. I definitely don't see Frank Reich saying that's a good idea. Yeah, and there's too many question marks, and we've had some bumpy years. We need some more stability. And Deshaun Watson, if he hits the field and starts playing like he did a year or so ago, well, holy crap, yeah. But there's no guarantees he's not going to get suspended or worse. And who knows what his play is going to be like when he comes back. I mean, there's a guy you definitely roll the dice on, but the situation for the Colts, I just don't think that it would have ever been a very good idea. Hefty Lefty says, I thought Irsay usually just talks to trees and shrubs and other woodland critters while he's hearing colors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he does that too.
Yeah.
But when you go to the owners meeting, they put microphones in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's probably still having the same conversations. It's just we get to hear what is being said. He also says there's no doubt about the trade Carson Wentz to the Commandos. No doubt in his mind. He says, for us, it was something we had to move away from. It's a franchise. It was very obvious. And he says, this was a no-brainer. They had to get rid of Carson Wentz. And then he goes on. He's like, oh, but Carson Wentz was a great guy. He always tries to say the nice things. And then he turns around and says, oh, it was horrible. It was a horror. Oh my God. Matt Ryan is the best thing that ever happened to us. Oh my God. Compared to last year to be where we are now. Oh my God, he says.
You just never hear an owner actually say all of that stuff out loud. Usually the owners will give you the very PC, he was a good guy, just wasn't a fit for us, hoping the best in the future. And then you've got Jim Irsay just, oh, it was awful. It was a nightmare. You have no idea what we went through.
Even Jerry Jones may have handled that better. And then he goes on to piss off other people in the owners meeting. And he's like, no disrespect to the Jaguars, but they're the worst team in the NFL. No disrespect. You play well and hard for the first quarter or so, and they're looking to go to their locker room and clean it out. I've never seen anything like that in my life. I mean, my God, there's something wrong here. It needs to be corrected. I think we felt like we did. But oh my God, they're the no disrespect. But that is like saying, no disrespect, but you are the ugliest mother effer I have ever laid eyes upon. Dumb as a brick, too. You smell horrific. No disrespect.
Yeah.
Here's this thing you're supposedly taking pride in, but it's bad for you. No disrespect.
Jim Irsay he probably needs to let Ballard do the talking for a while. Maybe try that out.
Yeah.
You know that the reporters can't wait to find Jim Irsay at the owners meeting. They get out from the meeting and no one is looking for any other owner but Jim.
Yeah, over there's the owner of the Seahawks just going, oh, nobody wants to talk to me. I'll just wait here. Fish Tank says, I didn't know Bruce Willis was still alive. I thought he died when he saved the world in Armageddon. I thought the same thing, but then he kept popping up in these diehard battery commercials. Boogie says, also, why the hell would you pilot something to the postseason and not the preseason? We've already talked about that. Mm-hmm. We agree with you 100%, but you don't have overtime games in preseason. If you have overtime games in preseason, it's just because it's a 0-0 tie. And I think even at that point, everybody's like, let's just go home.
No, we're done.
Yeah, we're going to go home. All right, let's take that break. We will come back. We got some more NFL owners stuff, but we also have the quarterbacks. As God is my witness, we'll talk about NFL quarterbacks today on this show. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears Radio Hour. In the show, we try to teach the tools, rules, and strategies that traders and investors need to do better with their wealth and portfolio income. But most of the time, an hour is just not long enough. At Online Trading Academy, we believe that the average person should be given the tools, rules, and strategies that Wall Street's elites have been using for years to outperform others. Are you one of the millions that have recently established a trading account? Or have you always wanted to trade or take a more active role in guarding and growing your own wealth, but have not had the know-how or confidence? We want to invite you out to a complimentary 3-hour power trading and investing workshop, where you'll learn what it is that the professionals use to limit their risks and maximize their possible gains in both trading and investing. To register, call 8448-TRADER. That's 844-887-2337, or text the word stocks to 25029. Again, that's stocks to 25029. Reserve your seat now.
Market Wrap host Mo Ansari talks about the benefits of the financial advisor.
Not only the technicals and the fundamentals and the valuation, but you have to look at the macro picture. And that requires a lot of work where you're looking at the sectors and industries within the sectors. And then you find the stocks within the sectors that are doing better. And then you have to do the work on those individual stocks. And you sort of go through tons of sand before you find those nuggets of gold. And the discipline to do that continuously, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, that is the hard part. People become traders, but they have a job, they've got a family, they get distracted, and then you look at it 3 weeks later and it's all history. Like your personal trainer who keeps your health on check, this is why you need a financial advisor to keep your emotions in check.
If you need help keeping your investments on track, call pound 250 and say talk to Mo, or go to compact.com and click on the Get Started button. That's COMPAK.com.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor, funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA, SIPC.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
The dictionary describes madness as frenzy, rage, intense excitement. Yeah, that sounds about right. We define it like this.
There's the pass to Leitner. Puts it up. The Jackets get through for the win.
The madness is coming. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, the home for March Madness.
Welcome back to the Daily Blender here on this 30th day of March. Almost done with March, heading into April. And that means Final Four time. And don't forget, right now, FanDuel Sportsbook giving new customers $150 instant bonus guaranteed. You'll get $150 in bonus site credit. All you have to do is place your first bet of $5 or more. Now, how you bet the bracket is up to you. You can choose from the money line, total prop bets. You can talk about the player totals. You can talk about three-pointer, whatever. There's a whole lot of options for you. But how you bet it is up to you. And then you place your bet. And FanDuel will give you $150 in bonus site credit guaranteed. So you got to be new to FanDuel. Log on and get the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Use promo code Randy1580 to place your first $5 bet. Secure that $150 in bonus site credit guaranteed. Again, that's promo code Randy1580 on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Remember, you got to be 21 or older, present in Arizona. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as a non-withdrawable site credit, and that expires in 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-NEXT-STEP, or text NEXT STEP to 53342.
Hey, Randy, you want to go to a baseball game?
Love to.
A Diamondbacks game?
Sure, love to.
Well, because you seem pretty down on the Diamondbacks. And I was like, wow, if we all had a chance to go see a game, would you still want to go, or would you just be disappointed the whole time?
I'm one of those guys. You just can't beat a night at the old ballpark. Look at the Diamondbacks are going to get their heads caved in. They'll be out of the race after the second month of the season. They'll be so far down in the cellar, they'll think they're in the Eastern Division. That's how far down in the cellar they'll be. So they won't even know which way is up. The bat rack, it won't even have bats in it anymore.
That's a yes then, or just
yeah, we go to the ballpark.
It's like the most negative yes.
Have a beer and a dog. Yeah, enjoy. I hope the roof is open. I hope it's a beautiful night.
Can we heckle? Can we do some chatter?
Well, you can chatter if you like. I'm not a big chatter, box.
Yeah, but this maybe get some of your frustrations out.
You mean to sit there and go, hey, bada bada bada, hey, bada bada, hey, bada, hey, bada bada, swing.
Well, that's always fun when the other team is up. But I'm saying, say a few things.
Not the
Whoever,
players' fault.
whoever's closest, just if we can get on the first baseline, we can kind of yell at some of the personnel or something. I don't know.
Are you talking about the other team?
No, the Diamondback. You don't
Yell at the
chatter against your
Diamondbacks?
own. Yeah, this. I don't know.
No, I can't do that. I'm sorry, I can't do that.
Because
Yeah, that's the thing.
Randy's
We'd have
beef
to have
is
seats next to the front office. You know what I mean?
that's the
I
issue.
want-
Yeah.
I want seats right below the owner's box.
Yes,
Then I'll start
that's-
talking.
Okay, we have to figure out where that is.
And your back
Well, I
will be
know
to the
exactly
game because
where
you'll
it
be
is.
shouting directly at the owner's box.
All right,
Yeah.
so you and I need to work together on getting some tickets right underneath the owner's box so we can sit there and make loud, rude comments to the owners.
What a great night at the ballpark. Boy, you guys really put together a winning team, haven't you? It's
Yeah.
only 14-0 in the second inning. Jeez, I'm glad I paid my $150.
That's what we're gonna do. In fact, if I can get in the suite, we're gonna do that. I want to have it right there where I could stand up, turn around, and say, "Yeah, way to go, man," and see how long before we get ushered out.
Oh, we'd be escorted out early and
Yeah.
often. Yeah.
I think that's what. Then we can do the chatter at the other team, and then we chatter the owner. There you go. I like that.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
we'll do. See, we turned it into a positive thing, haven't we?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Big fun.
So and if you how do you argue with a fan who has got his Diamondbacks material on and is at the game, paid the money, coming to the game to root on the Diamondbacks, and is frustrated because the team that you put together sucks?
Well, Marie Antoinette would say, "Let them eat cake." This owner's probably going to say, "Hey, let these bastards eat asphalt," and then we're going to get thrown out into the street. And I hope to God somebody has a camera running when it happens. That's what we'll do. Of course, now that we've said this on air, they're going to have pictures of us.
Probably. Yeah.
Don't let these guys in.
These guys are banned. They can't come in the ballpark.
Yeah, the guards gonna be like, I don't know. We have these pictures of Al Qaeda, and then you guys. That's the only thing we can't let in the park. There's this fella, and then there's you. I don't know what to tell you.
America's Most Wanted, the world's most wanted, and YouTube guys. I don't know why they're on here, but you can't come in.
Yep. Sorry. Out of here. 888-368-1580. Killer Rabbit was like, yeah, this is weird to hear Irsay talking the crap he's talking. He says, normally the poop sandwich speech, you say something nice first, then you say something mean. Well, Irsay had it backwards. Glad we don't have Wentz. Oh, but I like him. Thank God he's gone.
It's just he sandwiched his compliment in two mean things.
Yeah.
Defeats the purpose of doing it in the first
The reverse poop sandwich.
What I love is he doesn't get in Ballard's way. That's the thing I love about Jim Irsay. He has opinions. He's going to let you know when he's not happy, but he's not actually doing anything other than talking. Thanks.
that sounds nice.
Killer Rabbit. 888-368-1580. Big George says, did you guys see the news today? No, I didn't. Did you see it, Randy?
No.
No.
Didn't see the
Keelan, did you?
news.
You
Yeah.
clearly didn't watch the news.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No, George. Why?
Oh, that was all he texted. There was no additional.
It was just kind of weird. No, here it is. It says the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences today said Will Smith was asked to leave the Oscar ceremony after he hit Chris Rock, but he refused to do so. Academy's Board of Governors met Wednesday to initiate disciplinary hearings against Smith for violations against the group's standards of conduct. Academy said disciplinary action for Smith could include suspension, expulsion, or other sanctions. I don't believe that be true. Did they actually tell him, hey, you got to leave now? And he says, I ain't going nowhere. No, I don't believe that. That is, you got to send me the story, Big George, because then that starts to become a thing where they could press charges. You see what I'm saying? Because at that moment, that's trespassing. So I don't want to talk about that anymore. I thought we were done talking about that. George,
thought
don't
so
bring that
too.
up anymore. Random Texter says the only thing positive about when the Diamondbacks are doing crappy is that you're sitting in the stands and you want to say something to one of the batters, either home or away, they can actually hear you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they can hear you.
Randy and I will sit on other sides of the park and have a conversation. Look
Yeah.
at this guy. Moist One says, can I go to the game too? Absolutely.
I'm sure they're going to love to hear from you.
I mean, you're not
I
sitting
just-
with us, but you can go.
You won't go to the game that we're going to, but
Yeah. Bruno Baller says, hey, Randy, will the Suns win more games than the Diamondbacks this year?
yes.
There's a damn good chance. Mr. Wilbur says, wait a second. Can we just stay on the subject of preseason football? What if both teams in preseason game that was on national television decided to treat the game like they treat the Pro Bowl and have guys simply grab each other and not even tackle each other? Do you think the NFL would realize that preseason is it's meaningless? No,
they wouldn't,
because money.
Yeah, they wouldn't realize that. And also, there's no coach in this league that would allow that. If you didn't want a player to get hurt in the preseason, you just don't play him.
Yeah, it's.
But everybody else has to hit. Like, there are still special team spots that you're trying to fill. And like, how can I know that someone's going to be a good gunner if they don't hit anybody?
Yeah, preseason shouldn't even be in this conversation and stuff. But thanks for the link there, Big George. Good Cat says, hello.
Hello, Good Cat.
Howdy.
Hi, Good Cat. Just some really brief texts today, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So let's finish up talking what we were talking about with the owners meeting and stuff like that. There's some other stuff that's happening. Some teams are looking for some new homes for their stadiums. I know the Commandos, they have a couple of different places they're looking at, which is really just code for give us a free stadium because we're threatening to leave. I don't know if that's really going to work out for your Commandos, though, because maybe people will be like, thank you, bye-bye.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's a we're threatening to leave thing so much as we have the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, and hopefully someone of you wants a football team. DC, I hope you want one, because then we might have to just turn to Maryland or Virginia, and then you try and play Virginia against everyone else that same way too, and then you see how it goes.
I don't feel like you have any leverage right now, though.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. I mean, as many good people that are fans of this Washington team,
all the way you know
being
is
one
Keon.
of them.
It's just Keon.
Well, there are a lot of people that are that continue to hang on as
name another
Washington. Keon.
Yeah, and
well, I'm a little further out west for you to be asking that question, but
Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yes,
look it up.
He is diehard.
I couldn't even tell you.
He is a diehard Washington football team fan.
Kevin Durant.
How about somebody who speaks English in complete sentences? Now you got only Keon.
Kevin Durant.
Jr.
Kevin Durant went in Washington gear, head to toe, up to Green Bay to watch us get beat to death there. I don't know why he did it.
Serious fan.
I think actually that they were playing the Bucks or something. I don't know. He was in Milwaukee. He was in Green Bay for some reason.
Wait. So the Washington Commandos were playing the Buccaneers, but Kevin Durant went to Green Bay in full Washington Commando attire.
No.
I think we just learned that Kevin Durant is dumb.
No, they were playing the Packers. Kevin Durant.
Who's playing the Packers?
Washington was.
Why are you bringing up the Buccaneers?
No, I didn't bring up the Buccaneers. Kevin Durant, the basketball player, was playing the Milwaukee Bucks. That's why he was in Wisconsin.
Milwaukee. Yeah,
watching the game.
Oh, I was about to throw you in the same group of Dale Earnhardt Jr. there for a minute.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Good Cat says, burn in hell, Lakers. You know what? They're kind of doing that now. So
they're just doing it to themselves, really.
Yeah.
They didn't even wait to go to hell. They just decided to burn themselves.
They're in purgatory. Do we play the song now that they're actually burning in hell? And why not pile on? Why not?
You hope that they stay in hell, but seems like they're already there.
Stay in hell, Lakers, is what we want.
Yeah.
Let's see. Moist one says, well, if you guys don't want to sit by me, what am I going to do with my giant bag of popcorn? We know how that trick works, and we're not falling for that again.
Yeah.
Senior Wake and Bake says, hey, I want to go. Do they have a smoking section? No. Okay, you're definitely not going. You can go, just not with us. Let's make that clear right there.
Yeah.
So with all the people, who are for or against, this is always going to be a fight. But the Kansas City mayor, he says, hey, guys, we want to keep the Chiefs as a team. Maybe could we interest you in the suburbs? Because I guess the Chiefs are looking at some other places, not in Kansas City. I don't know how you stay the Kansas City Chiefs if you're not in Kansas City. But they've been pitched by a bunch of developers, even some people from proper Kansas. You know what I'm saying? Because Kansas City, by the way, in Missouri.
Yeah.
But there are some people in Kansas who are like, Well, they could be in Kansas, still call them Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas. They're just trying to steal the Chiefs out of misery. So, so I guess they're saying, well, how about the suburbs here in Kansas City? How about that? And then, of course, there's other people. They're being pitched all over the place. But I think it's silly. You can't move them out of Kansas City. If they're the Kansas City Chiefs, I think they have to stay in or near Kansas City and not go to proper Kansas. That just becomes even more confusing.
Yeah, it does. I think you have to be in the Kansas City metropolitan area at least. You can't be if you're in any other city other than Kansas City. You're not the Kansas City Chiefs.
It's also annoying, and really, it's Missouri's fault. And by the way, if I haven't mentioned it lately, Missouri is the worst state in the union. Missouri is a horrible, horrible place. Have you been? It's horrible. It's just this dismal. The Kansas City Chiefs are the only good thing about it, and that's even when the Rams were there. It's just it's horrible. So they're going to have to pony up something to try to keep the Kansas City Chiefs, and they need to take a page out of the book of the Tennessee governor who says, how about this? We'll give you $500 million in taxpayer money to help you with your new stadium. He's like, we're going to pony up to make sure the Tennessee Titans stay here. The end. Okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Doing what you got to do. I don't think we should be spending taxpayer money on any stadium. That's always been me. And I think people will say, well, the community benefits from that. Well, I think you should give them a big tax break, but I don't think that taxpayer money should go into the building. I think if a business is worth doing, the business should be worth doing, and the money would be there. But give them some tax breaks. All right, well, that makes sense because, yes, their existence is helping out the community. I always just kind of hate it when taxpayer money goes towards it, but we don't get free tickets. We got to buy tickets. And if we're lucky to even get tickets, if it's a good team. So that's always made me itchy. It's always made me itchy when taxpayer money is spent on something like that. Maybe getting the refurbishing money for the Suns. All right, maybe a little something to help out the cause, fix up the stadium. I guess I can kind of see it. But when you're talking about like a couple $100 million, all right, it's like billions. It's like, whoa. Come on, man. We got kids that are starving on the streets. We got homeless people. We've got drug addiction. We've got all sorts of other things that we can be working on and fixing. And you guys should fix your own problem. You want a tax break? Here's your percentage. Outside of that, let's spend the taxpayer money on things that, they thought they were paying taxes for. Yeah, I know it's very unpopular with the people who will be on or listen to sports talk radio, but that's just always the way I've felt. But I guess if you really want to keep that team, the Texas governor says, here's $500 million of my constituents' money. Please stay. I don't think they were looking to leave, though. What? Yeah, Titans weren't leaving.
No, I hadn't heard anything about that. And I've got some friends that follow the team closely. I hadn't heard that they were leaving. Maybe they're just preemptively jumping out and saying this before it even becomes an issue of any kind. Mm-hmm. Hey, we're committed to keeping the Titans here. So there's no need for some kind of face off. We'll just negotiate straight up, but we want you guys here.
So I think the reason he jumped up with that $500 million is because yesterday or the day before, Buffalo agreed to pay $850 million for the new Bills Stadium. So I guess this is the thing. They're ponying up the money to try to get these guys to stay. Hopefully somebody's done the math on this to make sure that the community makes the money and doesn't end up just pooping away money, because some of this could just be political corruption, if you know what I mean. So anyways, how long till we need a new stadium, Randy?
Probably next year.
Damn it. Feels like we just built that weird looking thing in Glendale.
Yeah, we'll probably need one by next year.
Well, I'm sure this will be more conversation for later. We'll get to your text here in a minute and other NFL things. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Do you own an annuity, either fixed rate, indexed, or variable? Are you paying high fees and getting low returns? If so, Annuity General would like you to have this free book to learn the pitfalls and mistakes of buying an annuity. The Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers contains the little-known truths about annuities, like how to help reduce your fees and increase retirement income. And it's free. That's right, free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report just for calling. We researched over 1,000 annuities and summarized rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. You get annuity do's and don'ts for baby boomers and the annuity rate report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call now.
800-273-7075. 800-273-7075. 800-273-7075. That's 800-273-7075.
Bruce Jacobs here again from my friends at ProCopy. For the last year, you've heard me talk about how ProCopy has provided Arizona companies with the best office equipment available for over 20 years, plus their outstanding service after the sale with a 96% retention ratio and award-winning technicians. Now part of Flex Technologies Group, they are committed to ProCopy's industry leadership and excellence. Whether you have branches anywhere in the U.S. or right here in Arizona, you can count on ProCopy and Flex Technologies for all your office equipment needs. They focus on print, document management, document production, and managed IT, representing the best brands such as Canon and Ricoh. They proudly serve over 35,000 customers nationally. They still remain a local company and continue to give back to the community. The ProCopy Foundation has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that makes doing business with ProCopy good for your business. Give them a call, 602-ProCopy. That's 602-776-2679, and tell them Bruce Jacobs sent you.
Okay, you're back to dining out, but there's dining and there's dinnertainment. Get ready for an amazing dining experience like none you've ever had at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale. When it comes to Asian cuisine, nobody does it better or more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. It's not just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where delicious 7-course meals prepared right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date night, or a night on the town. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on teppanyaki, sushi, cocktails, and more. Book your night of fun right now. Visit KasaiScottsdale.com. That's KASAI Scottsdale.com or call 480-607-1114. That's 480-607-1114. We'll see you there.
Today, someone will enjoy a phone call with their family, thanks to speech-to-text technology. Today, someone will know their rights so they can confidently advocate for themselves. Today, someone among the more than 1 million deaf, hard of hearing, and deafblind Arizonans will enjoy greater accessibility and effective communication, thanks to the Arizona Commission for the Deaf and the Hard of Hearing. To learn more, visit acdhh.org, sponsored by the Arizona Commission for the Deaf and the Hard of Hearing.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Live and local.
David Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and Saturday is your day for the Final Four of March Madness. That's right, Villanova is taking on Kansas at about 2 p.m. North Carolina's got Duke around 5. Broadcast starts at 1:30 p.m. here on 1580 The Fanatic. But more importantly, special program note, we will not be on the air again tomorrow because I guess they changed the time, and now the NIT championship game, which we are contractually obligated to take, the broadcast starts at 3:45 p.m. So we'll let our friends at Visa Network take you from 3 up to 3:45, and then get you bet ready, because I know there will be an overwhelming amount of bets made on Xavier versus Texas A&M for that NIT championship.
I mean, I think the way we talked about it, the Texas A&M and Convenient Mark out there in Gilbert.
We broke it down pro style.
Taking on Mr. X from the X-Men.
Right.
I might have to put some money on that game.
I was getting crap for putting $1 on my bets. I'll put up to 10 cents on this one.
There you go.
I don't know how to make a parlay out of it. But, anyway, so sorry, guys. We will be back on Friday. 888-368-1580. Big George says, whoa, Jeffrey. There is a Kansas City, Kansas. It's on the other side of the Missouri River. So they could play there and still technically be the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, I was looking it up. I think they should be in Lee's Ferry, Missouri, though. The Lee's Ferry Chiefs.
They wouldn't call it the Missouri Chiefs because then it's the Misery Chiefs.
Yeah.
But if they moved to Kansas, they could be the Kansas Chiefs. And then everybody screw up all the time and call them the Kansas City Chiefs.
Or Kansas City, Kansas, and they could be the Kansas City Chiefs and just continue on.
That seems to make more sense.
Yeah. Of course, all those Kansas people will be flipping the bird at the Missouri ice from across the river. Look at you fools. We got your football team. We're going to take your baseball team next.
Could start an interstate war, which would be very entertaining and nobody care about.
Yeah.
Bruno Baller says before they were the Kansas City Chiefs, they were the Dallas Texans, I believe. There was a Dallas Texans before?
I think he's right because the Cowboys evolved from the Colt 45s.
That's right. That's interesting, Bruno Baller. Fish Tank says, has anyone out there had their team in the NIT championship? What's that like? I mean, do you root for them? Are you excited?
I've had my team in the NIT championship, and they won. They actually won the NIT championship. And I can tell you, as a person who always roots for the Texas Longhorns and everything, I felt nothing.
Yeah, you were like crying in the shower afterwards.
It wasn't even. It wasn't even sad. I felt nothing. Just if I hadn't watched it, it wouldn't have made a difference.
Kind of like that same feeling Cardinals fans had when they put Carson Palmer in the Ring of Honor. Like,
Did that already happen?
Okay. Sure. Fish Tank says the Jets and Giants are in New Jersey. They're not New York. Maybe that's why they're both awful. There's many reasons.
Could be.
King Kitten says we should air Keon Rose's 45-minute dance party tomorrow night.
Could be.
Yeah, I don't think he's got 45 minutes, let alone 45 seconds of NIT to talk about. Just the tip says, good afternoon, gentlemen. Interesting fact. Clark Hunt, current owner of the Kansas City Chiefs, has a net worth higher than the entire city of Kansas City year budget. He owns Major League Soccer. The average food bank for homeless people in Kansas City operates on a donated budget of about $120,000 a year. No way in hell should Kansas City build a stadium for the Chiefs. Give them tax breaks. Help the infrastructure, sure, but no more than that. All right. I'll tell you what, one rare moment that Just the Tip and I agree 100% on one thing. So, yeah. Mr. Wilbur says, kind of the same feeling the Tempe ASU basketball fans have about 13 being an IT. Oops, that's right. They didn't even make the NIT. Wow, Wilbur, if you're going to try to throw shade, have somebody who is sight type for you because it's not working.
Sorry, Wilbur.
Number one Rattlers fan says, hey guys, Rattlers 2-0. Defense is shut out the second half in both games. Nicely done. Nicely done. You guys are on an away stand for a while before you guys come back and get a game here on 1580 Fanatic. We only do the home games for the Rattlers, but yeah, the Rattlers are always kicking everybody's butt.
Jeffrey, why do we only do the home games?
I have no idea. You have to ask
I
somebody.
Thought there was some scientific reason or something.
No clue at all, to be honest. We'd be happy to air them all. Good Cat says, oh, it's a meme. Let's see. Would you kindly fix the road? I was already taxed to fix, so I'm not causing damage to the car. I'm taxed annually to drive, which I purchased with the income you already taxed, which sits in the drive in my home, which is highly taxed. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Lost Toby says, yeah, these owners are billionaires who have stupid amounts of money. Shouldn't be allowed to use tax funds on stadiums. New York giving $950 million to Buffalo and cutting $900 million of city programs for kids. That is disgusting right there.
Yep.
Senior Wake and Bake says, send Kansas City to take over the Phoenix crappy cards. They don't mind. Thanks.
Senior Wake and Bake said that?
Yes.
It that might be his wakiest and bakiest.
Wow.
Text.
Wow.
Made a
That's
lot
a
of sense.
boy. That's a, yeah.
Jumbling around up in the
Thank you.
in the attic there. Random Texter says, being that we had a 15 seed go all the way to the Elite Eight this year, do you think that gives any precedent to having the NIT champion play the NCAA champion for the overall championship? No.
Yeah, there's the reason that the NIT champion is the NIT champion, not the NCAA champion. It's because they weren't good enough to get into the NCAA tournament.
Mr. Wilbur says, Jeffrey, if and when we have a remote, please remind me to Will Smith you, if you know what I'm saying. I can't even remind you of that.
Like if you forgot, it's staying forgotten.
I'm going to make sure I walk around with a microphone talking and move the speakers occasionally. You'll have no idea where I'm at. All right, so let's move on and talk about the draft a little bit. This was almost exciting news. Brad Holmes is saying the Lions have talked to a couple of teams about trading down, and so you'd think, ooh, somebody's doing business, getting ready for the draft. And you remember, no quarterbacks for the crap. No need to trade up for these picks. So I think the Lions are going to have a little bit of a difficulty getting what they think they want, for that pick.
Well, keep in mind, though,
number 2,
Keon has talked about the kind of draft that this is going to be: wide receivers, cornerbacks,
plenty of wide receivers, plenty
edge
of
rushers, defensive line people. I mean, that's the stuff you're going to see in this draft.
Yeah, I mean, there's a huge market right now for defensive backs. Maybe you go up for a Kyle Hamilton or a Derek Stingley Jr. Those guys are elite. Sauce Gardner out of Cincinnati. That guy didn't allow a touchdown to be scored on him as a corner his entire time in college. It never happened. It never happened once. So maybe somebody might be interested in jumping up for a guy like that, or one of these offensive linemen that are really good. Evan Neal out of Alabama. There are other players that teams covet a lot that might warrant that jumping up, but it's not going to be for quarterback.
I think it'd be funny if the Lions just flipped the bird and said, "We're taking the kicker." You could have had what you want. We're taking a kicker because Lions things. That's why. Blissful Hayes says, "Are you working a full show today? There wasn't like a 7th grade archery meet somewhere you guys could air?"
We tried.
We looked everywhere.
We just couldn't come up with something.
Yeah. All right. How much can the Lions expect to get for that number 2 pick? But first round, number 2 position. Who needs it?
It depends on how much this team wants to get up to the number 2 spot.
That's right. I mean,
it really depends on how much, like the consensus number 1 overall pick right now. I'm seeing a lot of mock drafts have is Aiden Hutchinson out of Michigan. He is a phenomenal athlete, really smart player, highly experienced. So a lot of teams like him. But if you're not going to be one of those teams jumping up for him, I find it hard to believe you're going to jump up for any one of these other guys, because there's not a consensus number 1 even among some of these other position groups. Like the corners, a lot of teams love those guys, but they might not all agree on who the best guy is of that bunch, or who the best offensive lineman is. A lot of teams love Evan Neal, but a lot of teams love Akeem Ekwonu. So it just, without knowing who the consensus guy in any position group is, I don't know how much you get for that pick.
I like how Brad Holmes puts this. He's like, we had a dialogue with a couple teams. I wouldn't say it's been a lot. We've seen a couple of teams that we've had some dialogue with. Some, not much, and it was brief because Well, we talked to some people, so You're not going to try that. Well, we had a team looking at it earlier this morning. You might want to jump on that.
Yeah.
Before they come back. It's like,
he's doing the honest route. He's doing the opposite of what the Niners did, because the Niners are out there saying, "Oh, well, we've got 2 firsts offered to us for Jimmy Garoppolo. Well, why haven't you made the trade then? Because that's more than what anybody's going to give you at this point, unless you're lying."
Well,
Lions,
also
take the pick, Lions. Take the pick
and use it on the quarterback. And that's the thing. Brad Holmes is like, well, we got our quarterback, so it doesn't mean the other 31 teams have their quarterback. So
he just doesn't want to use it on a quarterback in this draft, which I think is smart. I wouldn't draft any of these quarterbacks at 2 either. Nobody's that desperate.
To be honest, we don't know what to do with this draft pick. I noticed that the Lions were not very good, so I'll be honest. I don't want this pick. I'm looking to just let someone else have it. So it's a lot of pressure for the Lions because we're bad at things a lot. It's really bad. It's hard for me to say anything because I don't know how. Well, I don't know how to do anything. So, Boogie says, I don't think the Lions are going to move out of the top 10 if they do move down. I can see the Panthers moving up from the number 6 spot and giving their first and second round picks. He's serious.
No, I think that there is something to the Panthers in particular being that desperate, that if the Panthers feel like anybody's going to jump up to 5 and take a spot from them, they might be better off served jumping up, just because if they don't draft a quarterback based on the nothing that they did this offseason, everybody in that building is getting fired.
Yeah, I don't see anybody that desperate to jump to the number 2 spot. Not this draft, which is weird. That just shows you how bad things are in this draft. Here's the guy with the number 2 draft. He's waving it around like Molly Ringwald's panties at in the bathroom scene, 16 candles, and people are like, "Okay, that's good. Thanks." No, thanks.
We just don't have. I mean, with the quarterbacks, there isn't an elite guy. But with some of these other positions, they're so deep. Why would I jump up to take Garrett Wilson at wide receiver when I could just wait and draft Drake London? Like there's so, and that's true for edge rusher, corner. There's so many positions that are so deep. Why would I jump up and take any of these guys?
Fish Tank says, I read that Notre Dame safety is the highest graded player in the draft. I wonder if that's ever been true of another safety.
I don't know. I don't think so though. Kyle Hamilton does have a lot of fans.
After Lefty says, who's got the sauce?
Maybe Ed Reed?
Sauce has the sauce.
Sauce Gardner does have the sauce.
Hey, Randy. Hey, Jeffrey. Did you have any idea what these people were talking about just now? No. Let's take a break. All right, guys, come on back. We are going to talk about NFL quarterbacks and find out what's bugging Keon. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Hi, this is Nick LaCapria with the Daily Sports Quiz. The Dallas Cowboys have become an American favorite in football, but it wasn't always that way. The Cowboys lost every single game in their first NFL season. Do you know what team the Cowboys defeated to win their very first game?
Nick LaCapria's Daily Sports Quiz brings you 8 different questions from the world of sports each day. If you want even more questions from the world of sports, visit Nick LaCapria's new website, sportstrivia.org. You can test your sports trivia knowledge and get answers to some great questions from the world of sports trivia. Sportstrivia.org. It's free, it's fun, and it's challenging. If you like the Daily Sports Quiz, you'll love sportstrivia.org.
The answer to today's Daily Sports Quiz, name the team the Dallas Cowboys defeated to win their first game ever, the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Cowboys are relatively new to the NFL. They broke in the 1960 season, lost every game, and then defeated the Steelers. I'm Nick LaCapria with your Daily Sports Quiz.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents
Doug.
Check it out, Limu, a roadside carnival.
Step right up, folks. Test your strength. Come see the fire-breathing baby.
Let's fan out and tell people that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Look, an emu wearing sunglasses.
Limu, you're famous. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Bruce Jacobs here again from my friends at ProCopy. For the last year, you've heard me talk about how ProCopy has provided Arizona companies with the best office equipment available for over 20 years, plus their outstanding service after the sale with a 96% retention ratio and award-winning technicians. Now part of Flex Technologies Group, they are committed to ProCopy's industry leadership and excellence. Whether you have branches anywhere in the U.S. or right here in Arizona, you can count on ProCopy and Flex Technologies for all your office equipment needs. They focus on print, document management, document production, and managed IT, representing the best brands such as Canon and Ricoh. They proudly serve over 35,000 customers nationally. They still remain a local company and continue to give back to the community. The ProCopy Foundation has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that makes doing business with ProCopy good for your business. Give them a call, 602-PRO-COPY. That's 602-776-2679, and tell them Bruce Jacobs sent you.
AZ Preps 365 is your headquarters for all things high school sports in Arizona.
Brett Quintine, James Mello, and Jose Garcia
Keep you up to speed with all the action, highlights, interviews, and insider information for the prep sports scene.
You need to tune in
to AZ Preps 365 every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on your new home for sports, 1580 and 99.3.
The Fanatic.
And always on at 1580thefanatic.com. KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. We're broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And it's this very telling statement. When you talk about how Brad Holmes is like, well, we would kind of like to make a deal here for number 2. We'd like to trade down and maybe get some more picks. If anybody wants anything, it'd be great. And then Doug Peterson's like, yeah, we have the number 1 pick. Well, you can never have enough offensive linemen. No, we're good. Oh, it's a fun day. You don't even care what happens. We're going to take all kinds of offensive linemen and stuff like that because we got our quarterback. We got Trevor Lawrence. That's what we got. So everything's good over here. So it just shows you the difference between two teams and where they might be as far as personnel goes. Doug Peterson, if you don't take an offensive lineman straight up or trade that pick in some sort of ploy to get more offensive linemen, then you deserve to be with the Jaguars because we saw Trevor Lawrence got the only person got the hell beat out of him more has got to be Joe Burrow. You know what I'm saying? Trevor Lawrence, he did kind of get exposed a little bit, but he also he had no help either. So
he had hardly any weapons. He had hardly any protection. He had hardly any defensive support. Just a bad situation for a rookie quarterback to show up in.
Is it my imagination or did Trevor Lawrence? I mean, who got sacked more? Was it Joe Burrow or Trevor Lawrence?
Let me look that up.
Actually. I feel like it was Joe Burrow, but Trevor Lawrence had to have given him a run for the money. You still with us, Randy? I think we've lost Randy absolutely and completely. Nope, there he is. At least his picture. Yeah, he's having problems with his feed. Yeah. Oh, there you are. Why didn't you say something?
I've been trying to say something. You guys have been talking before the top of the hour. The question arose: has there ever been a safety drafted number 1 overall, the highest safety ever taken in the NFL draft's modern era? Was 2nd overall UCLA Eric Turner, who went with the Cleveland Browns, 1991.
Wow. Yeah. Weird draft this year. It's going to be a wait and see kind of thing. A lot of guys going to get drafted, and then we're just have to wait and see if any of them are worth a damn. Hefty Lefty says that Giants offensive line has entered the chat, by the way. Random
it's pretty bad.
Says, I think there's only one game last year where Trevor Lawrence didn't get sacked, and that was the last game of the season. Wasn't it, Jeffrey? I wouldn't be surprised. That was such a bad game for the Colts. All right, so who gets the Sacko award?
Oh, it's Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow was sacked the most in the NFL, and it's quite frankly, it's not even close. And Trevor Lawrence is somewhere in the middle of the pack.
Oh, he's not even second place?
He's not even second. No.
Okay, well then he stinks.
Yeah, he got sacked about middle of the pack. But yeah, Joe Burrow got sacked 51 times and led the league.
So kind of give me the rundown in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place. I'm kind of curious.
Second place is one Ryan Tannehill, was sacked 47 times. Zach Wilson. Wrong Wilson. Zach Wilson was 3rd, sacked 44 times. Baker Mayfield was sacked 43 times. He was 4th. And then to round it all out at 5th place, Matt Ryan was sacked 40 times.
Well, Matt Ryan at least won't have that problem now, not with the Colts. Hopefully he still remembers how to be a good quarterback. That would be nice. Anyway, all right, enough of draft stuff. Let me just finish up here on the text line, and we'll get to the Arizona Cardinals real fast. Hefty Lefty says, look at Randy dropping real sports trivia with the draft nugget. Watch out, Nick LaCapria.
Well, I have been gunning for his job, haven't I?
Ukul the Mock says, wow, full show today. You guys feeling okay?
Yeah. Yeah, feel good. We feel even better tomorrow when we won't be here.
I'm kind of getting winded here.
I was gonna say I'm a little tired too.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little. I was just telling Miss Kim during the break. I'm a little tired here.
Good Cat says several mock drafts have the Cardinals taken a linebacker at pick 23. If
Of
that
course.
happens, I'm done.
Of course they will. Of course. But you know what? It's listen, Cardinal fan. Cardinal fans unite. Don't pay attention to the mock drafts. It will just cause you all sorts of, constipation and pain and suffering. Don't pay attention to the mushroom head or Yelly Boy from the 4-letter network. Just everybody relax. Let's wait until they make the pick. Then we can cast all of our sharp barbs and jabs at the Cardinals organization.
Yeah, we don't do mock drafts on this show, Keon. I don't know if you do mock drafts at your other radio stations. We mock your drafts here.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do mock drafts.
Yeah, that's fair. I have done mock drafts in the past. Just depends on who I was working with.
Do you feel like you need to do a mock draft?
I don't feel like I need to, but
you
I
could do
like
one
them.
and you could post it, and then we could mock it. But I don't think we're going to go in depth on air about it.
Okay, I'll do that then.
Who do you guys see?
He's not
the
going to tell us
Cardinals.
the link.
Who do you guys see?
Well, no, I'll probably just tweet it.
The Cardinals picking up in first overall.
Gotta
Who do you guys
be
see?
an O lineman. It's gotta be.
I would hope so. What do you think?
Maybe. I mean, at 23, a lot of these top offensive linemen might be off the board, and you do have to replace the production of Chandler Jones. You let him walk. So if there's an edge rusher available, then I don't think that would be an insane pick either. It's got to be one of those two, though.
Yeah, I mean, but later on in the draft, you can get guys, that are pretty decent quality as well. And you're not going to replace the star of Chandler Jones. You can replace the position.
What
but
about,
really, first and foremost, you've got to keep Kyler Murray upright. Are you telling me you can get a better offensive lineman later in the draft? Then
I have no idea what the giant bald man is going to do. I have no idea.
Drink
his neck. Besides clear out the damn whiskey closet on an every other day basis. I don't know. But don't you think also the Cardinals have a need for defensive secondary? Like a cornerback?
Yeah, I mean, especially in this division, you want a shutdown guy, a guy that can take at least some other team's best receiver and just eliminate him from the football game. I
would have no problem with a cornerback or an edge rusher.
Well, guess what? All the shutdowns that you think that the Cardinals need, that should have been dealt with in trades and free agency. This is not the place for it. The draft, especially when you win as far as you did in your season with the record you had, which placed you in a later part of each position of the draft, where you're at 23rd, which you're going to not really have the best picks. And so, okay, well then it was really behooves you to make sure you're making the right moves and trading and doing whatever, re-signing people. And that is where they're going to lose this. That's what I think. I mean, you can't expect, to get every shutdown guy that you need in the draft.
No, especially when you are picking 23rd, it's going to be tough to do. What you can do though is get guys that are really damn good, really damn solid, and then hopefully one of them pops and becomes something more than just what you drafted. And I think that's where they're looking right now. Either that or you go an edge rusher who might be available might be somebody like George Karlaftis out of Purdue. He's an NFL ready guy. You just plug him. I mean, he's immediately ready to go. But is he going to be the high end guy that Chandler Jones was? No. But what you would be doing is putting a competent NFL starter on the field day one with your draft pick. And I think that is something you can look to do realistically with that pick.
But didn't they say that about what was the guy's name last year? The linebacker that we bet, Zach Galifianakis. What the hell's his name?
Zaven Collins.
Zaven Collins. That's it.
Correct.
Yeah.
He's right. It's Zach Galifianakis.
Didn't they say he was NFL ready? And boy, he didn't prove to be NFL ready, was
he? He came around.
I mean,
did he though?
He had NFL ready traits, but in terms of he needed coaching. He did need coaching coming in. Like that was going to be. It was always going to be a risk getting a Zaven Collins because you're getting a guy that's athletically
coaching there
ready to go.
Yeah.
Well,
Quitter Kaler says Cardinals will draft a wide receiver in the first round. Well, that'd be great because then there's another fast guy that Kyler Murray can watch run down the field after he's gotten his ankle into his ear hole after getting tackled because there's no O-line.
Right. Also, I just think a lot of these top receivers are going to be gone before the Cardinals pick. Who would you take at 23?
You told me there was tons of great wide receivers.
There's tons of guys, but I'm saying if you're at 23 and you're the Cardinals, one of those guys could wind up falling down to you, but are you going to risk that? Is that what your plan is? I'm saying, the offensive line and the edge rushing spot are two very important holes that they need to fill with this draft.
Yep.
I would lean with those spots first before I start talking about wide receiver.
See, offense, I agree with offensive line and edge rusher, but I think also defensive back is another big need for us.
Quitter Kaler has a simple solution. He says, just rename all the other positions to linebacker. So a quarterback is now a passing linebacker. Keim will finally draft well. I like your thinking. I don't think we can get that through though. Lost Toby says Cardinals will draft a kicker. Do they need a kicker?
Not really. No.
They locked the kicker up in free agency. They made sure they had the kicker locked up.
Hefty Lefty says, are Keon's mock drafts going to be in the same corner on the website? Keon's corner. I swear to God, we should do that. If nothing else, just because I know somebody that would piss off. Boomer Suitor says, hey guys, since baseball started up, I heard an interesting trivia question today. Who are the top 3 batters that got the most base hits against Randy Johnson and his career #1 pledge?
Allegiance to the flag?
Yeah, I think this text fell apart, so I think the answer is right here. So yeah, who were the most base hits against Randy Johnson in his career?
The most base hits against Randy Johnson in his career.
I'm just going to tell you because I'm not sure if this is a voice text.
Is Tony
right.
Gwynn one of them?
No.
No.
You want to guess some more, or I'll just tell you?
No, go ahead.
Pudge Rodriguez. Paul LaDuca.
Okay, catcher
Mike
for the
Piazza.
Mets. Mike Piazza, another catcher for the Dodgers and the Mets.
Those are the 3.
All 3 were catchers.
That's
Ivan Rodriguez, Pudge Rodriguez, was the catcher for the Rangers.
This might be his brother Pledge,
who came from ASU, was a catcher for the New York Metropolitans, and Mike Piazza, who was the nephew of Tommy Lasorda, was a Dodgers prospect and then moved to the New York Metropolitans later on in his career.
I have a theory about something. Catchers usually turn out to be pretty good hitters, right?
No. Catchers historically are not good hitters.
All right, forget it. Well, I just know you as a catcher were a good hitter, so I just figured everybody was.
I mean, I in baseball, I was I think my average in baseball when I played non-pro, I think I was a 250 hitter. 250.
Dick Whiskers says, are there enough quality offensive linemen in this draft worth taking late in the first round?
Well, that kid from who's that big offensive guy? Is he from Alabama or is he from Georgia? Who's that big kid I'm thinking of? Come on, Keon.
Well, I know. Okay. Which side of the ball are we talking? Because
offensive line.
Offense from Georgia.
Thought it was Georgia or Alabama.
I don't know if he's going to be there late, but I mean, Alabama had Evan Neal, and that dude's.
Is that the kid I'm thinking of? Is
enormous.
That the big house I was thinking of?
I think so. Because he's one of the larger people in this draft that come to mind.
Why we don't go for some of these guys from these #1 teams like Georgia, Clemson, Alabama, some of these SEC teams that are always playing for championships. Why we don't go for some of these guys is beyond me.
You won too many games.
Yeah, but okay. So Kenyon Green from Texas A&M might be there for the Cardinals to take, and that's a guy that had a tremendous year. On a Texas A&M team that was competing to make the college football playoff, and they were only a game out really from that happening. So there are options from top programs available. I just don't think sitting at 23, that's an excuse to not get somebody good. Maybe not receiver because like the tier 1 guys might not be there for you, and I don't know if you want to use a first round pick on that next group of guys who are going to be really good but not elite.
Good.
That's where I'm at.
is saying Cards need to trade for Metcalf or Lockett. What would you trade? What would you trade?
You can't trade for Lockett because that contract is stupid enormous. Like that's the reason why he's stuck there. You might be able to trade for Metcalf. I don't know what you can get for Lockett.
But what do you have to offer for Metcalf? You know?
It would be picks.
It'd be up to the chewing gum. It'd probably picks and one of our young players that like number 4. What's his name? Keon for the Cardinals, the wide receiver, kick returner.
Rondell Moore.
Rondell Moore. We'll probably have to give Rondell Moore and picks.
Boomer Sooner says, guys, rumor has it that the Cardinals want Jordan Davis, the huge defensive tackle out of Georgia. He's a friggin' monster.
Jordan Davis would be cool. Yeah, you put him in the middle of your defensive line, and he might be available at 23. I find that very impossible, but just the way that the teams have been valuing the defensive line, the interior guys tend to fall a whole lot more than the edge rushers do.
See, that might have been the guy I was thinking of. I thought he was offensive lineman, but that kid's as big as a house.
Number 99 from Georgia, Jordan Davis. He's just a gigantic human being.
Yeah. I think that's who I was thinking.
Says Cards drafting at 23, not going to get a great player. How about Devontae Wyatt from Georgia?
I like Devontae Wyatt. Yeah, no, that could be a really good pick too. If he's there, I wouldn't go crazy if the Cardinals took him there, because that would be incredible value.
So do you guys want to hear some lies?
Always.
Sure.
These are some Cardinals lies. You're going to like this.
Okay.
Cliff Kingsbury, talking about Kyler Murray, says, we're in a good place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And Kyler Murray's like, I did not scrub my social media. I had nothing to do with the Cardinals. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And here it's funny because what Kyler Murray said, it did kind of ring into what we had been saying. He says, no, he just did it to do it. He says, that was it. I just did it to do it. Like I said, if you're a kid my age, you're used to like people take off all their, just a thing. He was kind of stumbling all over himself. He says, honestly, like I said, I took everything off besides one picture. It had nothing to do with the Cardinals or anything like that.
No.
Okay. If you're a kid my age, he sees himself as a kid. Most of the time, a 4-year-old does not see themselves as a kid. We see them as a kid. But if he sees himself as a kid, no wonder he's acting up the way he's been acting up. You know what I mean? But he's just a child, and he's conscious of that himself. So he's full of crap as a kid too, because there was plenty of reasons, and the writing was definitely on the wall in crayon because it's Kyler Murray. And then Cliff Kingsbury, we're in a good place.
That's a lie.
Believe that for a second?
No, I don't.
You're
I don't.
In a good place after the second half of that season.
I don't believe that for a second, and I don't believe Kyler either. But Kyler can't come out and say, "Well, we were trying to negotiate, so I scrubbed the social media to do that," because that would sound worse.
It's
somehow.
better to just not say anything at that point, Kyler Murray. And I get old Coach Skinny Jeans saying, "Oh no, we're good, because that's what you say as a coach. That's what chewing gum Pete Carroll said about whole Russell Wilson. Oh, we have no intentions of trading him. Oh, we didn't intend it, but we did anyway. And then Cliff Kingsbury, he says, well, going into this year, we're trying to address how to be better in the final stretch. That's something you should have been addressing for the last 14 years there, Kingsbury, because you have yet to finish down the stretch. Have you? God, why did they sign this guy?
I don't want to hear working on it from him. Needs to be worked. Like we have come up with a way to do this. We have a solution. That's all I want to hear from Cliff Kingsbury. I don't want to hear we're working on it.
He did put it on Kyler Murray some. He says, I don't care who you are in the position, but I think he's gotten better and better in each year. I think he's never had an off season, really. We had the COVID stuff, last 2 years. I think this offseason, just continuing to grow in who he is as a person, a leader, all those things. I expect him to take the next step. That's Kingsbury blaming Kyler Murray.
Wow. So he doesn't take any responsibility for the way things have floated in the second half of last season. Just none whatsoever.
I don't know why he just can't say something because he's renewed. He's not having to BS for a contract at this point.
Yeah.
Beer Bob says Sea Chickens would never trade those two wide receivers to a division rival, and no matter what the Cardinals offer up. Yeah, that's also a good point. Taking a break, we'll come back and find out what's bugging Keon Rose. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brett Musburger's Action Update. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now, you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now. Here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Valero Texas Open underway tomorrow. Rory McIlroy, the favorite at plus 800. Last year's champion Jordan Spieth plus 1400. Hideki Matsuyama plus 1600. The Final Four underway Saturday in New Orleans. Kansas will face Villanova. The Jayhawks a 4.5-point favorite. The over/under at 133. Then Duke and North Carolina. The Tar Heels a 4.5-point underdog against their arch rivals. 151 to set total. UFC 273 April 9th with two fights at the top of the bill. Aljamain Sterling battles Petr Yan for the bantamweight belt. Yan minus 500, Sterling at plus 350, and featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski minus 750 against the Korean Zombie at plus 475. For vsin.com, I'm Trey Westerberg on Arizona's sports betting station.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
Learn how thousands of smart homeowners are investing about $1 to avoid expensive home repair bills. John, a former non-customer, said, "My air conditioner broke and I had to spend $1,900 to fix it." Jeff, a customer, wrote, "My air conditioner broke and I got a new one at no out-of-pocket cost." Mary, a former non-customer, wrote, "My heating system stopped running. I had to spend $3,000 to get a new one." Lisa, a customer, wrote, "My heater stopped working. I got it fixed at no out-of-pocket cost." For about $1 a day, you can have all the major appliances and systems in your home guaranteed fixed or replaced with HSC's home warranty coverage. Call now, and the first month is free. If the lines are busy, please call back.
800-657-5714. 800-657-5714. 800-657-5714. That's 800-657-5714.
Medical data brought to you from Summit Male Medical Center. Over half of the guys over the age of 45 have some type of erectile dysfunction. If you fall into this category, you are obviously not alone. Don't worry about it. Do something about it. Call Summit Male Medical at 480-398-1000. Let our Arizona licensed doctors and all male medical staff using FDA-approved medication help you enjoy your life again. We guarantee it. Low testosterone? Common signs are muscle loss, irritability, weight gain, decreased libido. Our testosterone therapy will turn you around. Discreet, professional, and we are successful. Don't let getting older get you down. Call today, 480-398-1000. That's 480-398-1000. Or go to summitmalemedical.com. What are you waiting for? Call today. 480-398-1000.
Arizona Rattlers football. Exclusively on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. And at 1580thefanatic.com.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Tune in to hear every home game live.
Let's go, boys.
Don't miss a second of all the high-paced action as the Rattlers chase another world championship.
Hey, we're going to win. It's going to be on us.
Rattlers football on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Or streaming live at 1580thefanatic.com.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and tomorrow we got the NIT Championship game at 3:45 p.m., so we will not be on. You'll have some Visa Network coverage giving you some betting advice leading up to the game. Then the NIT Championship between Xavier and Texas A&M will excite you, will thrill you, will send you into orgasmic happiness right here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Really?
Of course, don't forget Saturday we got the real stuff. The NCAA Final Four, Villanova versus Kansas, then North Carolina versus Duke. Broadcast starts at 1:30 p.m. here on 1580 The Fanatic. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to find out what's bugging Keon Rose.
Well, we were talking about lies just a moment ago. We were talking about some Cardinal lies. I got a lie just now, just earlier today from Roger Goodell, who is apparently trying to sell me some kind of bridge. I have no idea why he's doing this, but Roger Goodell, who once upon a time hid the Ray Rice punching his wife video. Roger Goodell, who once upon a time tried to explain why it is that domestic violence suspensions are not as long as the drug suspensions and some of the other things that we see in the NFL. He tried to explain it and did an incredibly poor job. Roger Goodell is now lying to the rest of America when he says that Dan Snyder is not connected to the day-to-day operations of the Washington Commandos. Nope. Just not connected. Tanya Snyder, Dan's wife, is running the team, and we're just supposed to believe and take good old Roger's word for it that Daniel Snyder has nothing to do with what's going on. Never mind that he's still at every press conference about the team getting a new quarterback in Carson Wentz or changing their name to the Commandos in the first place. Nope. We're just supposed to believe that the fact that he's there at these significant events doesn't mean a damn thing at all. And that Daniel Snyder,
he's just there to support his wife, Keon.
He's just there to support his wife.
He's just there to support the cheerleaders, Keon.
I mean, well, I think that they could use a little less of Dan Snyder's support, to be completely honest there. Now, I just don't know what causes the commissioner of a league or, even in the case of Kingsbury, in some of these cases, to just come out and just lie. Who are you doing this for? I know that Dan Snyder is not supposed to be connected to the team, and that's supposed to be his punishment. But then why not have somebody more neutral, more independent running the team? That way you could at least lie to us believably. You don't have to just tell us a lie that makes no sense at all. That's like the end of an M. Night Shyamalan movie, just absolutely useless in every way. You could tell us a lie we could believe. The guy's wife is running the team, Roger. His wife is running the team. That is a lie that I will not take and cannot stomach. And you should be ashamed of yourself for standing there and telling it.
Yeah, that bloated, puffy Irishman, he's always been that way, Keon. Why are you even surprised at this? You know what they should do? They really want to play it up. If Roger really, first off, he doesn't care what you think. He doesn't care what anybody thinks.
He has a private
If you think they're ever going to force the sale of that team, you're out of your mind. It's not going to happen. Dan Snyder is just being sent into timeout a little bit to try to stop the hemorrhaging of embarrassment. But maybe if they put like a fake ankle bracelet on him, like you can't go this close to the cheerleaders, that ankle bracelet will start to tase you and lights will go off. And that would have even maybe been a little something, but no. I mean, come on, Keon, that shouldn't bug you. You should know better. You've been a lifelong fan of this team. You've seen it all. How does this be the thing that bugs you? You know who Roger Goodell is.
It only bugs me because he keeps repeating it, and he is saying it again. Just the day-to-day operations, Dan Snyder has nothing to do with it, and he has no credibility here to stand on. I know that Roger Goodell doesn't give a damn what I think, but for goodness sakes, I mean, if you're just going to lie to people, you could at least pretend to lie a little bit better. I don't think that he's going to force Dan Snyder out, but try.
He has an audience of 32. That's the only people he cares about is the audience of 32 owners that he is a puppet for, an advocate for, a defender of those 32 and the Shield. That's the only thing that matters. And the 32 matter more than the Shield, by the way, because that's why Roger Goodell is making how many, like $60 million a year to do this sort of thing, to lie to the American people and say, oh, yeah, no, Dan Snyder, he's being punished. His wife is running the team. He has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, they only live together.
It's a farce. It's a lie, but it's not one. You know, in fact, I think
it's
Randy,
not
fire off the
surprising.
music. Let's do what's bugging Jeffrey O'Brien right now. Do that. Let's do
the music for
Yeah. Yes. What's bugging Jeffrey O'Brien right now? Same music works.
Okay, here we go.
What's bugging me is that it bugs Keon that Roger Goodell is lying to the American people. Like he's always done that. That bugs me that Keon would even be bothered by that. That's what's bugging me. You're bugging me, Keon.
Wow.
Didn't expect to have my own bit turned against me that way. That's,
Randy, you want to take a turn at it? What's
I don't
bugging
know
you?
what I would. I don't know what I would yell about.
Something. There's nothing bugging you.
No, I'm pretty easygoing.
I'll do one for you. Can I do one? Let me do. Let's
Well,
do
sure,
it again.
go ahead.
I want to do
Yeah,
another one.
go ahead. All right.
Maybe we should all do this. I'll tell you what's bugging me is the lawn guy. He keeps using that weed killer that paints the sidewalk green. I know they got the clear stuff. I told them I want to use the clear stuff, but every time I walk up front, I see all this green crap all over my driveway. I'm not happy about it. Yeah, that felt nice.
Just get it off your chest.
Yeah, just go ahead.
You know what I'm upset about also? My
Okay.
dog. Every time
Your
we go
dog.
outside, I say, don't walk on the wet grass. You go potty over there. And he gives me a look in his face and he grins and he runs right on the wet grass.
Yeah.
I'm starting to realize my complaints really may not be sports connected.
And almost exclusively about your lawn.
Yeah,
got one
there's a
more
lot
in
to
you?
do with the lawn.
Come on. What else
All
you
right.
got?
I'm really sick and tired of these yellow bells. They were supposed to grow up to 12 feet tall up along the back fence. And then all of a sudden, the gardener looks at it and says, we got to prune these things. Now they're shorter than the fence. Yeah, I really don't. I guess I have a pretty good life. I just
Yeah.
can't get.
Gardner says he's got to prune the yellow bells.
Yeah.
That's what's bugging. That's what's bugging Jeffrey O'Brien.
Here, what movie is this from? And we prune the hedges and we raped the horses and rode off with the women. And what movie?
I can't remember.
Come on. Somebody out there heard that and they understand it.
Oh no, I know it. I can't think of the movie.
Would you say I have a plethora of presents?
Let's
Come on.
see the Three Amigos.
There you go.
There
I
we
knew if I
go.
threw that in there, it'd help.
Rip the horses and ride off with the women.
Who is this guy? Keon has no idea.
I haven't seen it.
I
haven't seen it.
You have to watch the Three Amigos.
Oh.
You got to. Just got to.
When
All
he
right,
shoots the invisible horseman at the singing bush. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny stuff right there.
Let's get caught up. Let's see here. Bruno Baller says, you got to use reverse psychology on the dog, Jeffrey. Tell him to go in the grass and stay away from the area you want him to go to. Yeah, I don't think that's good. This is a smart dog. I don't think he's going to fall for that.
Mm-hmm.
And Keon, Bruno Baller says, at least you didn't say the station vending machine was out of Milk Duds, and that's what bugs you. Do you like Milk Duds?
I do like Milk Duds.
Everybody loves Milk Duds. We don't have a station vending machine, by the way. Turns out for a while, I was the station vending machine. I'd bring candy and I'd put it in the little football dish in my office. And within a couple of days, that thing would get cleaned out. Then I'd put more in. And I was like, wait, why is it my job to put candy in all these people? No, and nobody ever brought me candy. Just saying. Good cat. Three Amigos is correct. Yes, you got it before anybody else. Well, Randy got it. But he says, by the way, my mock draft has Kime selecting 4 bottles of vodka, 6 handles of tequila, and a pick at 23.
Absolutely.
Hefty Lefty says, if you want to learn about proper lawn maintenance, Jeffrey, there's a great 259-part documentary called King of the Hill. I've got the lawn maintenance down. I pay a guy. And Hefty Lefty says, listen, Dan Snyder, face of the feminist movement. You be nice to Dan. You be nice to Roger Goodell. Fish Tank posted something by Peter King. He says, I can't listen to the show the rest of the way, but I thought you'd enjoy Arian's quote about Tom Brady. Arians knows the questions about timing Tom Brady coming out of retirement. And he says, nope. Tom was very in favor of what I'm doing. I had conflicts with every player I coached because I cussed at all of them, including him. Great relationship off the field, though.
I have breaking sports news.
Okay.
Newsflash. This is breaking news.
According to Jeff Darlington of ESPN, just came across, just alerted of it. Bruce Arians retiring as head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, that's the part I was supposed to read.
He'll move into the front office role.
So Todd Bowles is going to be the coach of the Buccaneers now.
Wow.
That's what this was about. Why didn't you lead with that, Fish Tank? I couldn't understand a thing this text was saying. I was just reading it.
Just hit the wire.
All right, so that's the real thing. Bruce Arians, his health must just be getting so bad he can't stand on the sideline.
Well, he is 69 years old.
Yeah. Well, Betty White looked better than he does before she went. All right, okay. Does this matter? Does this matter for the Buccaneers? I mean, yeah, Bruce Arians is a pretty good coach, but most of the reason he's a good coach is he surrounded himself with really good coordinators and really good coaching staff. So does this make a huge lots of difference, or do you expect to see the Buccaneers play the same way they did last time?
I think the Buccaneers, because they're mostly the same people, I think the Buccaneers, minus a couple of the offensive linemen that retired and the wide receiver that's injured, but I think the Buccaneers are still going to be a threat, and I think Todd Bowles is a good coach, and I think he has the respect of these guys on his team, and I think he was in a bad situation in New York with the Jets. So I guess my dream, I have a dream every night of Todd Bowles returning to Arizona and taking over the defense for the Cardinals. I guess that's not going to happen now.
Yeah, my dreams are way more interesting than your dreams. Just saying. Rye Guy says, what the? Your sidekick hasn't seen the Three Amigos? How old is that guy? 9?
32. But
yeah, you should have seen it by now.
I just haven't seen it. I mean, look, there are movies that everyone hasn't seen. It's just, that's my one.
For a lot of, you know how they do the Rocky Horror Picture Show and everybody dresses up and they dance and they sing along with it. My old friend Michelangelo, he used to have parties for the Three Amigos, and people would dress up as the characters, and of course everybody'd sing along to My Little Buttercup. And I never got to go to one of those. It didn't work out, but I always I want to see if I can get him to revive that, because how fun would that be? And watch the movie before you go to a party like that. But trust me, it is absolutely worth the watch.
I'm excited about it.
Don't come back to work until you watch it. You think I'm kidding?
I guess I'm not coming back to work tomorrow.
Neither are we. All right. So Belichick is 127 years old. What does that have to do with anything, Lost Toby? You know, he's like a Nosferatu type of vampire. That's what the hood's really about. Just too much light, too much. You never see him out in the sunlight, do you? Oh no! Every time I've seen Belichick, it's in a dome or outside at night.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right.
Why are you telling us this? I don't understand. Hey, feel good about one thing, Keon. And as Ron Rivera, he's got it figured out. He's like, you know what? We got to do to right this situation here for the Washington Commandos. You know, we have to change the way this team is viewed. Quite honestly, I'm tired of it, he says. I really am. The only way to fix it, winning. We gotta win to stop being an easy target for other people to attack.
I mean, he's not wrong.
We have to win.
You know, we'll see how it goes this season.
You feel like he's sort of off in his own little world and doesn't realize he's a coach of the Commandos. And you think he even wait, Dan Snyder owns this place?
No, I think he came in and his job, the reason why he was hired, he was tasked with changing the culture of that team, especially on the inside. And I think that he has done that. But there's still an outside perception that you have to fight. And I don't know. I think he thought it was easier. It was just as easy as, hey, I go in, we change the knuckleheads. I mean, because they turned over maintenance staff. They turned over medical staff. I mean, he went in and they fired everybody. And tried to build the thing back from the inside out. And, it's as far as the changes inside are going, I think they are good changes, but it's going to take a while for everybody else to notice that things are a little bit different. And yeah, if you don't win, no one's going to notice.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like there's a disconnect. It kind of reminds me, Ron Rivera, in reference to the Washington Commandos, reminds me of the people who are in this country who say, oh, no, things are much better when it comes to racism in this country. And then you hear the story about those 3 college volleyball players who tape themselves on Instagram as they drive by and say, "That's the hanging tree. That's where we used to hang people." Ha 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 ha, and laugh. And then everybody's like, "I guess things aren't fixed yet because look at this." First off, holy God, what a horrible thing. I hope these girls all get kicked off that team. But for the people, then I hear people say this, "No, things have gotten better." Yeah, no, not so much. No, they haven't. And Ron Rivera, your Washington Commandos, it's going to be more than just winning. Because of Dan Snyder and because of the way the NFL has handled your situation, you're always going to be an easy target. And that's your own doing. Not you, Ron Rivera, but the Commandos.
Yeah, but I do think winning does enough. We have forgotten how absolutely incompetent the Browns are. And Jimmy Haslam is one of the worst owners in sports. And he doesn't get knocked for it anymore because the Browns have been more or less winning. It's not been perfect, but they've been more or less winning. I think if you're Washington, he's actually start winning some of these games. It will be easier for people to pretend like the other stuff's not happening.
Okay, but there's a difference between the incompetence and the evil. You're not going to forget the Dan Snyder evil as fast as you will the Haslam incompetence.
Yeah, though Jimmy Haslam has his own evil going on too, just not inside the Browns building. But as the owner of several Pilot gas stations, his hiring practices have been oddly racially discriminatory.
I was not aware of that.
So but we don't talk about it because
we just did.
The Browns have been so bad, and then when they got good, it wasn't worth mentioning anymore.
Well, yeah, you are right that winning does solve a lot. But boy, when it comes to Dan Snyder, I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon.
No, his reputation is pretty robust and well earned, by the way.
All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, it's On This Day and Big George's sports history and some other assorted things. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Woo! Isn't this fun?
What's this ride called?
It's the stock market this year. Here comes another drop.
I don't like this. It's scaring my portfolio.
Do you have a better idea?
Yeah. Have you heard of Masterworks?
No.
It's the app that lets you invest in an alternative asset that more than doubled the S&P 500 from 1995 to 2021. All you need is a phone. Just go to masterworks.io and use promo code FUN. Woo!
See important disclosures at masterworks.io/DC.
Business people like it straight and to the point. So here it is. Bruce Jacobs here to tell you take control of your utility expenses by calling Harmon Solar right now. They can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Level your energy costs, protect yourself from inflation. How's that for straight and to the point? Here's more. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Arizona Army National Guard, aired by the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
Market Wrap host Mo Ansari talks about the dangers of emotional investing.
There's two things that people sell. One is greed and one is fear. Whenever you buy either one of those, you're going to end up getting burned because they are the epitome of emotions. And you've heard me say, whenever emotions take over, you're in trouble. If you don't want that to happen to you, give us a call. We'll be more than happy to do an objective evaluation of your portfolio to find the right degree of risk, what you have in your portfolio, what you should have, depending on your age, depending on your emotional makeup, depending on your financial makeup, depending on what your objectives are. All of those things go in to determine the correct balance of portfolio. We'll do that for you. It is free. You have to at least get started.
If you're ready to get started, call pound 250 and say talk to Mo, or go to compact.com and click on the Get Started button. That's COMPAK.com.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor, funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA, SIPC.
There's no doubt that Harmon Solar can save you up to 85% on your monthly electric bill. That's a fact. Bruce Jacobs here. But did you know it's possible to get solar for zero down and no payments for 12 months? You can lease, finance, or even purchase outright. They have plans that fit everybody. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, women-owned local company that uses top of the line equipment. Call Harmon Solar at 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
We've got the Big P podcast. Fantastic. Never miss your favorite hosts, that big interview, or your favorite show again.
That's just about the most fantastic scheme I've had to date.
Check out our podcast library. Download your favorite shows you want to hear and listen to it whenever and wherever you want. It's like audio magic.
My.
Get your ear on now at 1580thefanatic.com.
Come on. Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Hefty says, speaking of e-file, don't forget your taxes are due. Get them done by mail or e-file, everybody.
I already got mine done. Thankfully, we broke even.
Yeah, people who were getting money back, they filed a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who owes, wait until the last moment.
Yeah.
But the evil I was talking about before we went to break, I want to kind of clarify, make sure everybody knows what I'm talking about. And the only reason I want to bring light to this is for that exact point I was making, that a lot of us in this country think, oh, things are fine. All these players and the protests and things that are happening, they're just looking for attention. Racism isn't that big a deal in this country. Everything's fine. I assure you it's not. Why? Because we keep making more, and hateful people keep making more hateful people and teaching them hateful things. And to give you an example, there's no way a car full of Houston volleyball players, University of Houston volleyball players, girls, I guess they're going to be 19, 20, could be driving down the road, start laughing and point out, oh, that's the hanging tree where we used to hang people. Now, the tree they were talking about was a tree, a big old oak tree where they lynched a couple of black teenagers back in 1935. So for these girls to be driving by, point at it, laugh about it, and say, that's where we used to hang people, dear God, the racism in that town is so deeply rooted and so deeply taught, not to one kid in the car, but to all three, that they laugh about it going, that's where we used to hang people. It's astounding. And that is just one little tidbit. They had also, by the way, one of the symptoms of racism is absolute and utter stupidity, because how can you be racist and not be stupid? I mean, evil and stupid, but stupid plays a huge part of that. They posted this on their social media. Just stupid. Yeah. And of course, this got brought to light, and suddenly they all deleted their Twitters or their whatevers. And now the school is trying to figure out what to do next. The fact that they're taking a moment to figure out what to do next is also a little bit sad in itself.
Yeah, I mean, it should be obvious what happens next, because you've got that UH on your chest. You represent the University of Houston, and if that's how you represent the University of Houston, the University of Houston should say, yeah, we don't want you representing us. It should just be done.
So these girls laughing, driving down the road, pointing it out, 22,000 views before they finally took that thing down. Just absolutely just sickening right there. So I'm only bringing this up to remind you guys, it ain't over, and there's a reason there's protests. This is just one little bitty example. Don't forget the examples where black kids are getting beaten by cops for no apparent reason, that people are shouting things, yelling things, and it's not just black kids, it's Asian, and you name it. It's just Hispanics. It's across the board. So we got a lot of work to do, guys. So don't ever get yourself into a thought of complacency where you think, we're okay as a country. I used to think the exact same thing. I remember saying to Bill Strauss, the late Bill Strauss, he was the head of the Anti-Defamation League, and I was just like, yeah, I think we're in a pretty good place. And he's like, he just kind of gave me that look that I guess only a guy our age now, because I was Keon's age when I said that, and he was my age when I said that to him. He's like, come here, I want to show you some things. I walked away from that meeting. I was like, okay, I guess I was absolutely wrong about this. Lost Toby says, yeah, casual racism is the worst. Senior Wakenbeck says, as much as I love this country, we do have a long way to go with racism. Can you believe that? Okay. So, yeah, even Senior Wakenbeck sees it. If he sees it,
that's saying something.
That's saying a whole lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and whoever said casual racism is the worst, I agree, but that wasn't even casual what they were doing. That is just straight up messed up.
That is overt racism.
Top
that is
to bottom.
Gleeful racism. And pointing at, even if you're racist, to then point at a tree where somebody was murdered, that even goes even further than straight up casual racism. All right, we need a palate cleanser. Let's move on. Let's do this. It's time now, ladies and gentlemen, for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1993, after 43 years of misery and ineptitude, Peanuts character Charlie Brown finally hit a home run against a game-winning round trip. Why am I reading? George.
A game-winning round tripper.
No. It's not that. Charlie Brown's a cartoon character. That doesn't fit on this date in Big George's sports history.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and he says, well, maybe it does, because almost 10% of the nearly 18,000 Peanut strips created by Charles Schultz was focused on the baseball. Yeah, no, man. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm just sorry, man.
There goes that one, Big George. Sorry.
No, can't. Now what are we going to do? We do a wheel of sports thing?
Spin the wheel of sports. We could do
let's spin the wheel of sports. That's Cardinal Art says, you the man, Jeffrey. Thank you for speaking for us minorities. Now pour me up a straight shot of Crown Royal, Randy. You're welcome. And
there you are, my friend.
I'm just speaking up for the truth, man. This has got to be a little bit of a, I don't know if you knew about it, a little poke in the eye. I guess the Fox Sports was talking to Tom Brady and looking to replace Troy Aikman before Tom Brady decided to go back to the Buccaneers.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess what happened is they said, okay, here's what's going to happen. Kevin Burkhardt is going to be Joe Buck's replacement, and we want Tom Brady in the booth with him. What about Aikman? We don't care. And so then so lucky for Aikman, he was able to find himself a gig outside of that, and then Joe Buck followed along. We thought it was Aikman and then Buck. Turns out Buck was already sorted and figured out, and Aikman was the one who was kind of figuring out where he was going to be next. And so now, as we're sitting here, Kevin Burkhardt, he's got the job to replace Joe Buck. Greg Olson is somebody they are talking about, but they really wanted the Tom Brady. So now maybe Greg Olson, Kevin Burkhardt will end up being that number one crew for Fox. Fox kind of shot themselves in the foot in this whole carousel of announcers, didn't they?
Whoopsie.
Yeah, they waited too long to decide. I mean, obviously with Kevin Burkhardt, they knew that they liked him enough, but to just go with that second option, it seems like they waited a little bit too long. I don't think Greg Olson's bad, but I don't know what I can't think of any particular moment that Greg Olson's been in the booth that stands out as like a great moment. So that's something that it could be a little concerning.
Booger Wolf says, I'd rather watch a wolf mother give birth to a full-grown catfish than watch the Washington cheerleader squad do a routine on turf. Any given Sunday, the 49ers are going to tax and wax any team's ass. P.S. Only girly men who listen to the Cranberries and Alanis Morissette like the Colts.
Wow.
Yes, I don't mind the Cranberries. No, I don't like Alanis Morissette. So
covered a lot of ground there, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you were so wrong about 90% of that text. Good Cat says Three Amigos and The Jerk are two must-watch movies. Have you seen The Jerk?
I have not seen The Jerk.
I don't know if you'd understand The Jerk. It's that movie might be way overdated. There's a lot of
it's a bit deep, isn't it?
There's phones on cords, which
that was
weird.
Still a thing in the 90s.
No, this movie was from the 70s.
I'm just saying phones on cords is not something I'm unfamiliar with. That was still a thing when I was a child.
Hefty Lefty, that's pretty funny. He says, what are the odds of Arians returning to coach 40 days later on May 9th?
Just to be petty.
Like plus 250. Bruno Baller says, worthy, three amigos, Chevy Chase, Martin Short, Steve Martin. Oh, were they? Yes, that was who they were.
Yes.
Anyways, did we spin the thing? We spun the thing.
Spun
we
the
talked
thing.
about the thing. We say we spin the thing again, see what happens.
All right, let's reset it. We're doing a reset.
So I guess people are kind of excited. Tiger Woods played 18 holes of a practice round at Augusta National, and he's trying to decide if he's going to play in the Masters. Now, he's a made man because he's always invited, no matter what.
Yeah, he has a lifetime invitation to go and play the Masters because he's won it so many times.
And he's officially not said if he would play. And I guess they said the 18 holes he did play, he looked pretty good. He played 18 with his son, Charlie. Also his PGA Tour buddy, Justin Thomas, was out there. And they said, yeah, he had a nice round. But then if you listen to Tiger Woods talk, he's like, yeah, my leg is still not right. One leg doesn't look like the other. He says, my foot is still not quite right on the damaged leg. He says, my activity's been limited. I can chip and putt really well and hit short irons, but I haven't done any long stuff seriously. Still working on that. So
Tiger's going to have to realize his entire golf game changed the moment that rollover happened. And he's going to have to kind of readjust. I don't think he plays the Masters this year.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And listen, he may never play the same way again ever, but hey, at least you're alive, man.
Yeah.
What
and
happened?
At least he's going out there with his son. I think that's wonderful for him to have that relationship.
I get it. He's a competitor and he wants to always try to come back and do his best, but hopefully it's enough for him that he's come back enough to do like you said, and that's play golf with his son and still breathe and be alive. All right, guys, we'll be back on Friday. Enjoy the contractually obligated NIT championship game tomorrow. It's a Daily Blender.